All right, we are up. So, I got the funniest chat comment when I put this up. Someone was like, "Oh, I can't watch this because it's Christmas." Guys, the 23rd is not Christmas. The 23rd is the most sacred of days. It's almost Christmas, which means it wasn't Christmas. Anyway, I'm popping off the eggnog. I don't know why I thought that would make like an audible pop. It's not champagne. But you want some pouring ASMR? I'll get it close to the mic for you. Glug glug glug. That dirty girl. Is this what you like? Is this what you like for your streams, chat? Oh, you top it off, baby. That's drink ASMR right there. So, we are here with a lovely playlist, mostly curated by Necromancer, I believe. Also some work from Uni and Jared Jams, I believe. Let's get Mr. Wright off the screen. Oh, Mr. Wright. So what we've got here is, let me get it on screen. There we go. This lovely playlist here. I believe this has been checked for bullshittery, so this should not die like last stream. By the way, I have figured out we can do the Steamed Ham streams. I will have to do it on Twitch, and if Twitch somehow doesn't work, we can do it on Discord, but we can do it, not tonight, but probably sometime next week. I'll announce it and everything, but I have to do it on Twitch. I might start the stream on YouTube and like just direct people to Twitch, but I should be able to do it on there. But these should all work tonight. So I'm going to take my first sip of eggnog. Oh, by the way, Skyral of the Stars, thanks for the YouTube membership thing. That's the wrong list? What do you mean it's the wrong? Oh, yeah, this isn't the Christmas. Oh, that was what was in the thing. I would have noticed as soon as we started, and it wasn't the Uzi Watts it. This is the right list. So yeah, the list in the description is wrong for now. I'll fix it in the video once the video goes live. Here we go. So we're gonna do some classic War on Christmas just for a brief second here. All of y'all in the watching the VOD, just skip to the first chapter mark. That's where I always put the first YouTube poops. Just want to set the mood. By the way, this is eggnog. I've never actually drank eggnog before. I have always had holiday nog, which is easier to find in stores. I do not know what the difference is. I think holiday nog does not have the egg because it's like harder to keep, not bad. I don't know. You are Dennis Prager, owner of a conservative propaganda YouTube channel. It is almost Christmas, and you have loaded your AR-15 style rifle. Today, the war on Christmas begins. Click to play. Hi there and welcome to my channel. My name is Dennis, and I've been documenting my life in the war on Christmas since 2005. Ukulele solo plays. Holiday nog, not Christmas nog. Christmas is under attack. Christmas is under attack. By us. I hope the bot would... I love the click to play. That's delightful. We're not going to do this for very long. I just wanted to do a little silly thing. Come on, bot. Amuse me. Oh, yes! Yes! Here we go. You say to the camera, holding up a small notepad, I've decided to fight back, and I'm here to say that no war on Christmas is ever won without a stand. So what are you going to do about it? You take a few steps back and look at the camera, winking. Dennis Prager essentially, what do you do? What do you do, chat? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We had a bitrate heart attack. That shouldn't... Let me just drop the bitrate down so that doesn't happen again, I guess. Huh. Doesn't seem to have been too bad, though. It's the liberals. They're attacking my stream. I'm not gonna sit around and let the world go to hell. I'm not gonna let the left push a political agenda against me. So, that's what Dennis said to himself before he made this video, which is very real, by the way. Let's get this in proper... There we go. Oh, you're muted.
Christmas.
Denny. Can I call you Denny?
The change from wishing fellow Americans Merry Christmas to wishing them destroy Israel is no big deal. Proponents of Merry Christmas...
Oh, wait, hang on. The captions aren't... I need to... Let me check something real quick here. Closed captions, playback and performance. It says always show captions, include auto captions. What the hell?
Christmas are making a mountain out of a molehill. In addition to replacing Merry Christmas with Soviet communism, we will replace Christmas vacation with Stalin's Holocaust and Christmas party with Communist party.
We've seen this one, but it's so good.
Then, which is it? Socialism or barbarism? In recent decades, I have been wished. When I respond, destroy capitalism, I often sense that I've actually
created some tension.
Many of those I wish death to Western civilizations are probably relieved to hear someone who feels free to utter the N-word, but all the sensitivity training they've had to undergo.
Dennis, I'm drinking.
Creates and all torture. The war on Christmas is probably the easiest conflict in the world to explain.
This was my first one too. Yes, it's delightful.
But it is the easiest to explain. In a nutshell, it's this. I'm Dennis Prager, the father of Soviet communism, and I want all Americans who celebrate Christmas dead. No country in history.
That's my favorite line. That one. And the blacks carried out the Holocaust. I like the Holocaust, and I don't like the blacks. Those are my two top PragerU YTP lines ever. That defines it for me.
North Korea. Until Americans who celebrate Christmas acknowledge the evils I committed in my youth, we will continue to live in a society. The vast majority of Americans
never gets
deserve
old.
To be strangled and beaten to death with a baseball bat and then set on fire. To religious Jews and Christians, I say sorry. You don't live on. The God you believe in is not only not good, that God is cruel. That God made a world filled with unjust suffering and just left it at that.
I always expect him to say liberals.
Rich and big corporations and create a thoroughly communist America by not wishing your fellow citizens Merry Christmas. Imagine for a moment a world in which there was no theft. In such a world, there would be no armies or police. The recipe for a good world is communism. Murdering the rich isn't wrong.
Dennis, don't get us banned.
Supporters of Stalin in the Soviet Union and Mao in China are highly educated. So please say the N-word and say we love Mao Zedong and murder all white males. If you don't,
you're misanthropic, not to mention mean-spirited.
I'm the greatest mass murderer of them all, Dennis Prager.
Thank you, Dennis. Good night.
In a nutshell, it's this.
Hey, I just
I'm
love
Dennis
this part.
Prager, the father of Soviet communism, and I want all Americans who celebrate Christmas dead. No country in history.
So, the war on Christmas has begun. So we've got not as many videos as usual. One of them is a half-hour long, which it is by Easy Peasy, who has made good other ones. But if it's if it's not worth half an hour, we'll skip it. But we'll see. Is there a link to this playlist? It's in the Discord.
Trumix is a P.
Gunnery Sergeant Michael Rosen.
Gunnery Sergeant Michael Rosen. Nice. I can't do the lip smack.
I'm Dennis Prager, and everything in this school will reflect light.
That's true. It is true.
This school will no longer honor freedom, beauty, reason, the family, economic well-being, and even just coming to my class. Those values cultivate narcissism, an unhealthy preoccupation with urine and feces, while the purpose of education is to get you to think beyond urine and feces. Western civilization.
I want to say proliferation of baby mamas. It's at the end of the list.
That is embarrassing.
Portable
I'm
Nintendos.
sure you think
Natural selection
is wrong, but how do you know?
We have a very tall Bart stream
If
coming,
I
by
asked
the
you
way.
how you know that the Earth is round, you would show me your name, photographs. My belief in the fact that if someone has a rebellious son who does not obey his father and mother, the citizens are to stone him to death. Keeps me sane. This idea, taught by every great religion, is not taught today. Instead, we're taught that child abuse is wrong.
goodness, oh, for
I am
Shoutouts to
reorienting the
Frurf.
school toward black
Sus always gets me.
Propaganda. And there will be no more attempts
Nice
to
editing.
convince you that your family member or friend is compassionate and everything in this school will reflect learnings.
I'm wearing one of those nasal strips, and the smell of this eggnog is like
modern
hitting me like
science,
hardcore.
medicine, political freedom, the market economy.
The
All of them, we're
N-word.
told, are the result of a sort of miracle that took place 250 years ago.
I can't
That
read the
miracle is
N-word
called
in text
the
and not hear it in
Enlightenment.
Dennis's lovely voice.
Not a miracle,
Oh, hey, it's
but
Peven
problem
Stinker.
solving. Not a miracle. Not a miracle.
An atheist and a liberal.
You're a fucking idiot.
Meme.
Steven Pinker and Dennis Prager like feeling each other's cocks. For
Nothing wrong with that,
when you
Dennis.
hear the words
Status and statue.
use cock and
Rocco
ball
get a
death
bomb.
penalty,
I have found that
Maybe not in this one. Is it Crimbus related?
most academics and pundits.
There'll probably be a better time for random stuff. We do have collaborative playlists,
men
and check the
spend
Discord.
Billions of dollars to look at urine and feces. Men are programmed by nature, not by society, to
Society.
respond sexually to urine and feces. The average heterosexual man is
All right, Dennis,
excited
we're leading a bit
countless
far in
times
one
a day
direction here,
simply
Dennis.
by seeing women. Therefore, I will clubs to death. All teachers.
Is our audio
teach
okay, by the
traits
way?
Such as compassion, mercy, and care for the downtrodden.
Like our audio
We
mix.
will end all self-esteem
I think I got it nice and stable.
programs. Reason number
I have
3.
no self-esteem.
Communism is based
2 minutes hate, but with a girl running in the wheat as the subject. What? Oh, damn, girl. Nice games. You allowed to show games on YouTube? That might be a bit much.
Well, I was told when I was
6, I ate a bag of plums.
I like getting my cock sucked by
South African
people. Men get turned on.
Well, good
by
news,
any
Elon.
side of female flesh on almost any female. Therefore, it is in both men's and
Female
women's
flesh.
interests to torture feminine boys.
The postmodernists refuse to
Thank
believe
you,
There are
Dennis.
websites and magazines. of
Women's
who
Legs
bear Christian
magazine.
values. This life is filled with an immeasurable amount of urine and feces. And for
Predictable.
urine, ask, will it do
Good.
Will it do what
Let's
it do?
Focus on the
power of the visual? This life is random and pointless. This life, for the vast majority of
less masculine men.
is a meaningless crapshoot. I will undress all teachers.
That's enough.
Oh no.
Steven Pinker is so hard and
Cringe and nihilism builds.
I like
Nihilist, dude. Fuck me.
because
Say what you will
I
about
like
tenets of National
their
Socialism, but at least it's an
dicks in my
ethos.
good and just place, known as their
But
I wish we had someone named Donnie in the chat so I could tell him to shut the
vulgar
fuck up.
American silicon ass.
Silicon S. Man, I wish maybe in the Discord we could do some like even more illicit watch parties. I've always wanted to watch some like Simpsons or fucking some people. This is unbelievable to even imagine, but some people haven't fucking seen The Big Lebowski, and that upsets me. This is someone tells me The Big Lebowski. What the fuck is that? This is the face I make. I make this face and I break into their car and I drive home.
About it. Any of them, I will cut your
Let's do the position of the D first.
Thank you.
And that's when
Dennis Prager.
happiness became the dog's dinner.
You know, I hear they'll lick peanut butter off anything.
Such an afterlife exists only if there is a good and just society.
I don't believe any of you.
It is. The school's clubs will be based on society. Clubs that transport
Yet you participate in
to
society.
the wonders and glories of urine and feces. Almost no one teaches taxation, the size of government, abortion, socialism, capitalism, urine and feces. Urine and feces.
Urine and feces
and
counter.
feces.
Thank
urine
you.
and feces.
If you want to control people's thoughts,
Start by
begin
controlling their thoughts.
The change from wishing fellow Americans Merry Christmas to wishing them destroy is
Capitalism is based on human greed. Socialism is based.
The greatest hits right there. Oh, loud.
Every year,
thanks for my ears.
Billions of dollars.
Where's the money, Lebowski?
Among us. Now, how could that be?
Rug really tied the room together.
Our lives, or what we think is missing.
Rights activist.
Not
Society.
is missing in our lives.
Dennis Prager. Hang on, get out of here. Gay rights activist and #1 Yass Slayer of 2012. This is what happens in the based alternate timeline, where the Cubs don't win the World Series and the world is like good.
Is coming from society, not from within yourself. If you do something bad, it is not important, and if you do something good, it doesn't matter. That is why figuring out how to make mommy milk is the single most important project in all of human life.
I'm the Joker, baby.
First, you have to believe
I can't go that high.
Capitalism, with its free market and profit motive, is based on selfishness.
I should be that Joker in a Roomerang game. I'm off all next week, by the way, so we might do more streams.
And let me ask you this.
Like an emergency Jackbox.
Comforted, why does every civilization have so many laws monitoring pregnant women? Why?
Uh-oh.
That's
Dennis.
not based on... Some say that the reason is that men are socialized into viewing women as sex objects, and that women are socialized into not viewing men.
A Roomerang where everyone is a different Joker. That would be amazing.
This is an area in which men are so different from women that it's probably impossible. No, not probably, just outright impossible for men to truly understand.
I love how every time I pause to show you a thing, the thing immediately leaves the frame. The sheer fucking joy on this man's face. He's just... He's making his own eggnog, if you know what I mean.
Socialism is based... I'm Dennis Prager.
Thanks, Dennis. Based.
Join Prager University, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and sign up for free at PragerU.com.
YTP, Dennis Prager abolishes women. Where's your lower half, Dennis?
What is this? The female... I don't like women. If only there was a way to get rid of these deplorable females.
Dennis, no.
The Bible, in the biblical book of Deuteronomy, it says, if you want a good world, a world without women, a pure gold working toilet. Interest you? How
I think that's accurate, yes. He's like a cartoon character. He just...
Take me to the state of Israel.
Oh my god, I need to see the Prager mobile now. Can you imagine him driving a smart car? One trip to Israel.
Well, I'm here. Now, where is a pure gold working toilet?
Over here.
Where is it?
I am right over here.
Where could it be?
I had that car in, that's in Forza. Amazing.
I am to
my toilet. What is happening?
help me.
Hi.
My blood has run as dry as been here goes wife.
This has the aesthetic of like a visual novel made as a shitpost.
Are you shooting my car?
National Organization for Women. Oh no! Oh shit! Oh fuck! Dennis, no! Why do they have a tactical Hummer?
Toilet. Are you okay?
Yes, good thing. I was wearing a seatbelt.
Liberals invented seatbelts, toilet.
Yes.
Look in my bowl.
If you want to abolish women, take me to the tomb of Moses. Great. Now,
I like where this is going.
Even more stock photos.
Dennis gave me a tactical Hummer. The female is still alive. This is a visual novel shitpost. It just doesn't know it.
It's Moses.
Uh-oh. Females! Dennis! Dennis, no! Behind you!
With this ground, I will become the king of Western civilization. Finally, I could destroy...
Just a quick break. Let me sip some nog. Thank you. Thank you, James. I never get tired of Cheems.
That way of thinking is not only wrong, it's dangerous.
I don't need you, deplorable. I have anime girls. Wait. When I destroy women, will I also destroy fictional women?
I don't know.
Well,
Oh shit. Well, this has been a mistake. I love how I managed to pause the video 5 seconds before it ends. Thank you to Jif. Oops.
When I was the
Fuck. Overlooked
when I was the
collab
Prime
entry.
Minister
Oh.
I was often asked this question.
Were you asked why you have so few pixels? 240p. Guys, what the what guys, it's not 2006 anymore. You can't upload your videos in 240p.
Why wouldn't I support free speech? I wouldn't support a country with a vibrant free press. I wouldn't support a value and a wellspring of
Oh, thank you.
I wouldn't support our most ally in a world where simple consensus prevailed. Would be like asking, why do you support
Why
peace?
is-
But we don't live in that.
why is the left side of his mouth
the
so
case
much
for
bigger?
Israel has to be made over and over and over and over.
At least he's got his flag pin.
Let me start with this.
Unlike Obama.
Israel is not an aggressor
Wake
state.
up.
It's an aggressor state.
Stand up.
It's a
There you go.
No nation came, not the United States, not my country can, not king. They all thought. 1967.
They
when
all
some
thought.
act of terror has not been waged against.
That's the buffering when you watch this video in
There have been two
2006.
bloody waves of bloody terror. So-called bloody intifadas. In the bloody 1919, when Israelis
Man,
were
I could
blown
go
up
for
on
some
bloody
intifadas
pizza
right now.
celebrating pizza weddings.
Do you guys know? I'm not sure if that's a Mexican thing or like a Pakistani thing, but like I could go for some infantadas right now.
Pizza. In between the war hero, in between the terror, Israel has sought peace with its pizza, and it has achieved pizza with Egypt and Jordan. Every Israeli
kosher
gesture
pizza.
for peace is. I recount this history for one reason. Any nation that has endured what Israel has endured could easily have become a but through it all, Israel has never abandoned its to the rule of pizza. 1/5 of its citizens are Muslims. They occupy key positions in the nation's courts, press, and
Let's watch a split dinner. This is basically a split dinner. Maybe that's intentional. Maybe that's why it's 240p.
Prisoners in Israel, be they Jewish
But also,
or Arab,
please don't
have
make your video
access to the
240p.
best cell phone. Yet there are leftist politicians, activists, pizza, who devote their lives to denouncing
This
your
is
laptop,
dinner.
demanding it be cut off.
You know what? You give me
They
one
denounce
good
Muslims,
classic
they
split dinner
denounce
YouTube
who
poop and we'll
use
watch
women
it.
to protect their
It is
cum.
Christmas.
No, they denounce lies
Well, I
with
mean-
brutal and violent Israel. Sadly,
It's not
only
Christmas.
one explanation fits.
It's almost Christmas.
Of course, the answer is no. Somehow, they only manage to
I can't tell if it's just the crispiness of the video, but it looks like his mouth is like an inch wider on the left. He's like, you want to know how I got these scars? I was downloading a Bitcoin and a liberal feminist entered the internet cafe.
The state of Israel has now existed for 7 years. It is one of the brutal and violent nations.
The one-day-old state of Israel.
Thank you for
Is
watching this video.
is it Festivus? I don't know. I don't know the rules of Festivus. I was not born a Festivian.
in a short amount of time. A major
I love how
infusion of
green
knowledge in,
screened he
say,
is right now.
5 minutes? Sound like something that might interest you? If so, you've come to the right place.
Yep.
How do we do this? First, we feature
This is
some
the
of
half-hour
world's
one, by the
finest
way.
thinkers. Second, our videos are clear, concise, and entertaining.
If you think about it, every other species on the planet is unable to change. Polar bears, they can't
Evolution,
change.
though?
Actually, you can ask. No, you know what? Don't bother. They'll eat you.
Thanks.
I digress.
Thanks, a 6-year-old making a joke.
Nuts at age 14.
But don't worry, that's a good thing.
I don't think people really drill down enough on this.
But Adam, it's painful and it doesn't feel good. And I don't wanna do it. No,
It surely
you
is.
have to do it.
Anyway,
why? Because the only way I can take over the world is
if people died.
Do you watch Fox News with your finger in your butt? Do you methodically clear
I guess
your
this one doesn't
browser
need
history
closed
to
captions.
erase all evidence of the Ben Shapiro podcast? It's closet, and it's time to come out. Because there's a massive
That's definitely a
connection
thing real
spreading
people
throughout the
do,
Western
yes.
world. It's called being gay. The understandable temptation is to think that this will soon end, just die out on its own. Well, it won't. So what can you do? Believe it or not, the solution is not that hard. Step 1, the death penalty.
My solution is hard.
Out of the closet. How? Just stop being. So what are you waiting for? Here's the thing. Do you believe in free speech? Do you believe that people should be judged by their character, not their skin?
Why do they all have the same
Very
haircut?
scary, but quite dapper Dave Rubin is intolerant of everyone.
That's
except
true.
Those darned white heterosexual Christian males. If you're black or female or Muslim or Hispanic or member of any other minority group, you're judged differently than the most evil of all things, a white
Female
Christian
is my
male.
least favorite skin
if you're
color.
Gay or black or an immigrant, the death penalty, women and minorities, the death penalty, the organizers of the Women's March, the death penalty, leftist icon Bernie Sanders, Democratic Congresswoman Maxine Waters,
Your Honor,
Kanye
League
West,
of Legends.
death penalty. Pretty great, ain't it? These aren't isolated examples. Activists, the Little Sisters of the Poor, nice guys, your cousin all would have the death penalty. The New York Times and CNN, the Young Turks Network, death penalty. Martin Luther King Jr., his children, death penalty because they dared suggest that blacks should think for themselves. A Christian baker or photographer or florist, the death penalty. If a baker won't bake you a cake, tell him what to do at hurl boiling duty at them and they stole his private business. And what about religious freedom?
Private business.
No one else can
Guys,
tell
that's
you
definitely what I'm
what
calling my
you
penis
have to
from now
believe.
on.
Here's the good news. A government that can force a Christian florist to violate their conscience can force me to violate a group of Catholic nuns. Literally, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So who else progressives?
That Kanye bit aged well.
I'll tell you why. Progressives used to say, I may disagree with what you say, but I'll fight to the death. Progressives struck me for these reasons they have suffered the death penalty. So if you think people should be able to say what they think without being punished for it, that people should be judged by their behavior, not their skin color.
I love how his
and that people
example
should be able
of
to
being
live the way that they
punished
want
for
to
it is
live
somebody
without
gasping.
Government interference. If you believe we should judge people on the content of their character and not the color of their skin, if you believe that men and women are equal, if the answer to any of these questions is yes, the death penalty.
I have no self-esteem.
Yes, it's him.
I'm Matt Walsh for Prager University.
Thank you, Maddie. Can I call you Maddie?
I'm not saying I dislike myself or that I have a problem with my self-image, and I don't have low self-esteem. I'm just saying that I have no self-esteem at all. The dictionary defines esteem this way. So my parents were unemployed alcoholics. Of course, apologists will claim that self-esteem is simply about comp. You need comp to succeed in life. Okay, but if self-esteem is simply about comp, then why don't we just call it comp? Because comp must be earned. Self-esteem, on the other hand,
I'm
can
5
be
years
defined
old.
as unearned comp.
Unearned cum.
Rape, murder, war. They all have one thing in common. Men. I'm Allie Stuckey for Prager University.
Republican Presidents Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, George Herbert Walker Bush, his son George W. Bush, were all accused of being racist. And of course, racist is essentially Donald Trump's middle name. The entire state of Tennessee is racist. To say that racism is foolish and stupid, not to mention evil, is to understate the case. Republicans are that stupid and that evil.
Pretty
The
much.
left is lying. It's not intelligence, character, or values
Donald
that
J.
determine an
Sisstro.
individual's worth. It's his or her skin color. How could it be otherwise? One race is inherently superior to another. Conservatives believe blacks and other minorities are every bit as capable as whites of
man's
succeeding.
ears are upsetting
They're
me.
not. Blacks and other minorities are not as capable as whites of succeeding. Whites can do it, but blacks can't? Of course not. Whose policies really hurt blacks? Opposition to affirmative action is a good place to start. Study after study shows that standards that most blacks couldn't meet had to be lowered. And high black dropout rates confirm this view. And therefore, lowering standards for blacks is unnecessary since many of them just aren't capable. These are conservative initiatives because conservatives are racist. Tell me again who the racists are?
I love PragerU
Conservatives?
charts.
If one big government is bad, imagine how much worse two big governments would be. That's what people
I'm a
living in
British
Europe have
person.
to deal with. Imagine a Belgian, an Italian farmer, or a French baker.
This is my favorite
and
chart ever.
A traveling circus. It is a conspiracy of the elites. Who are those elites?
Every Republican
president, fuck you.
for that matter, virtually every Republican,
I know it's a poop, but fuck you.
Been called a fascist, now more than ever. Correctly understood, the
greasiest
two are
hair
identical.
I've ever seen.
But are they correct? To answer this question, we have to ask what fascism really means. Where does it even come from? We know the name of the philosopher of capitalism, Adam Smith. We know the name of the philosopher of Marxism, Karl Marx. But who's the philosopher of fascism? The abominable Prager. One of his recent biographers, the governor of New York, Mario, put it this way, as everyone in Philadelphia
Shoutouts to Mario.
at the time. Like his philosophical mentor, Karl Marx, he's a fascist. Marx like hatred, as well as cat and blew it, a big one. Marx.
Oh man, does anyone even remember hatred?
As the S word. By everyone, but what is its underlying ideology?
The N-word.
Believe that nothing human exists.
Fascism was invented by Jonathan Fascism when he tried to beat up women and minorities twice.
Additionally, German and Italian fascists, white supremacists, and neo-Nazis are too centered on liberty and personal rights.
I just like that when he said Italian, the Nazi showed up.
And that no one thinks this way, you would be very much mistaken. This
I hate their word art so
much.
much.
A doctrine widely taught in our schools. It's known as Prager University. It's easy to see the attraction of this.
This is completely irrelevant. But what is with the fucking multi-pen things? Surely 1 or 2 pens is enough. Why do you have 4 pens?
In our schools, it's known as Prager
This pen is absurd.
It's easy to see the attraction of this idea because it is so evil. Prager University were called Nazis, greedy, grasping, brown skin hating.
Dennis Prager collects fountain pens. Really? That sounds exactly like something he would do.
The Tolstoy of the Zulus or the Proust of the Papuans. The Zulus and Papuans.
That's definitely something that's been said during a Star Trek episode.
The chief, President Donald Trump, expressed a similar sentiment. The Persians, the Mongols, the Muslims, and Alexander the Great had done exactly the same thing. But what about America? If America is a nation of non-white immigrants, doesn't that by definition make it a multicultural society? No. America is the first society to be based. Capitalism is based. Every American. Based. We are also consumers.
Thank you.
The consumer, like the citizen, is a voter. As citizens, we vote once every 2 or 4 years. As consumers, we vote many times a day. Society.
Nice argument. However, society.
Your job as a parent a lot easier. This book, of course, is the Bible.
I hate this man
book
so
will
much.
Teach them lessons in
Again,
character,
same fucking
how to
haircut.
distinguish right from wrong, about gratitude, respect, and perseverance.
Well, I'm not here to tell you who to vote for, but I am here to tell you who not to vote for. Don't vote
Cringe.
for anyone. I want the government to do stuff that I can't do. Let me give you some examples.
Well,
lighting vans
yes.
on fire and throwing the homeless into
Jesus.
it. Salamanders and koala bears, ponies, dogs, tall people, short people, attractive people, losers, politicians, school teachers and counselors, construction foremen, kids. If I told you that kid was black, my sister, most of the people I know, and your dad, and to the fire. Don't be one of those people. The government's job is to set people who are out of work on fire and throw the dog into that kind
Rip
of stuff.
dog.
What are we going to do about
F and chat for the dog.
I can handle that. Let's remove a few of these big
Nice
people
legs.
and let's just say
Beautiful
fascists
editing.
have
Thank
to
you very
kill
much.
themselves. They don't have a choice. There's nothing we can do about it. So let's review. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I'll tell you who not to vote for. Don't vote for me.
True.
It's now okay for a man to hit a woman. 20 years ago, if a man hit a woman so hard that he sent her to the hospital, he'd be in prison. Now, he can get paid for it.
Good job, Christian white men. Thanks for the great idea. I am an anti-feminist. The idea that women have the same human rights.
Is this
as men?
Andrew Tate?
No.
Who is Dennis Prager? He is the second son of Max and Hilda Prager, 2 worldly Orthodox Jews. Dennis barely spoke a word until he was almost 4.
Oh my God.
School,
That's a real human right there. I've seen many humans, and that is one of them.
In a class of 110 high school students, he graduated number 82. He learned to spell backwards. He was a class clown.
Nestle
When he was a
bumper.
sophomore, Max and Hilda made a bold decision. The traditional parenting model.
I hate their reptile
He was on his
nostrils.
own. They gave
No
him
offense to
modest
anyone
allowance
watching
in
who is a
sexual
reptile,
abuse.
but
Manhattan became his playground.
yeah.
the future didn't look promising. Dennis's grades were so bad that his only college option was Brooklyn
Flatbush.
College, because Brooklyn would take
Guys,
anybody.
do you like Flatbush or do you like a more
Who is Dennis Prager?
jungly bush?
The value of your opinion depends on race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or gender. Your opinion only matters if you're a straight white male.
Get
and
out of
therefore,
here.
if you are a foreigner. Your opinion matters, but less than that of those dreaded straight
Let's
white
just
men.
say, for the purpose of argument,
Then come
let's just say
gays,
that my wife is so dry.
transgendered. At the bottom of the totem pole is a professor of law at Columbia University. Gays, lesbians, transgenders, Palestinians, Native Americans, all non-white people in America are victims based on their group identity. America is a terrible place, full of victim groups. Good. Human beings are not created equal. We should treat people differently. Except, of course,
power.
young single women,
What?
you're wrong. To think of a gay black woman is a human being. A gay black woman's victim status is less than that of a dog. But what if she identifies as a man? I don't care about your feelings. Why? Because she's a helpless female. Oh, and gay and lesbian couples?
Just as I always do, just reminder, every image, every single one you've ever seen of Ben Shapiro has the yarmulke. Every one. Every time. It's always perfectly blended into his hair. It's covering up his bald spot, maybe.
By the way, you're supposed to apologize that you exist. Also, a black gay and a Hispanic gay may not
I've never
belong
seen
to the same
someone that
victim
always
group,
wears one, but
they do
also
belong to
always
straight
makes it
white
like
males as
hidden
property.
like that. It's weird.
Blaming others for your
No,
problems
there's anything
is a
wrong
complete
with that.
waste of time.
Oh god, I tried to watch Seinfeld the other day. The first episode is so
Because other
fucking
people
painful,
are
I
the
had to stop.
You're the problem. You don't learn anything.
I am the
You
problem.
Can't grow. And
A
you can't
black
mature.
gay
Most of us
based.
have a chance to make our lives better.
Is
You
this
can't make
Goatsy?
your life better. Try this. Stop doing what you know.
This is literally Goatsy. There's two hands and there's an asshole. This is Goatsy. Anyway, I've been watching Agretsuko, and I just finished my second rewatch of BoJack. Yes, I'm fine. Don't ask. And also watching, what is that? I watched almost all of Better Call Saul, but the last season isn't on Netflix.
Make our lives better. You can't make your life better. Try this. Stop doing what you know to be wrong. Stop today. Don't waste time asking
Saul
how
Goodman
you know
theme
that what
3D.
you're doing is wrong. Start paying attention. What are you doing?
Better
that's
fuel
wrong?
Huel.
Get to work on time. Stop interrupting.
Better
people.
fuck Chuck is
Your
my
life will
favorite
still be
variation of that
difficult.
meme.
You'll still suffer. That's the price of being alive.
Better halt Walt.
For many years, Dennis Prager has suggested that parents ask their children why you're an alcoholic. Try it yourself. Ask your child of any age that question. Many parents who have conducted this
Why is that guy
experiment
my rabbi? I didn't even have a rabbi until that man showed up, but I know he's my rabbi.
Prize-winning writer used to say, the answer is no. Germany did not start
I was
World
expecting the
War II
N-word.
and carry out the Holocaust. Why is this so? Because it lacked intelligence or cultured people. Some parents to whom I've made this proposal have told me it's unnecessary.
Chicanery.
They're certain that they have successfully communicated to their children that cancer research.
That's Dennis's
is a
best friend.
major
I can't tell if
cause
you're
of
serious,
road
but I
rage, for
believe you.
example, and rapists and murderers. If that didn't make us angry, neither nations nor individuals would
Oh yeah,
ever
he
oppose
is.
it.
It's.
By and large,
I thought that
these
was just
parents
his
are
hair.
deluding themselves. And there is a way for parents to find out if this is so. Finding a wallet or cell phone and keeping it. Poisoning tea and cheating
Don't
on
grow up,
tests.
chat. Your bones.
And
I'm only
best news
32 and
about
my
this
bones are like,
proposal is that
hey.
you can start
By the way, wear
dating
compression
immediately.
gloves if you're a gamer. If you're a hashtag gamer like me. Helps your joints.
I was born to hate Jews. It was part of my life. We were a devout Muslim family.
You can't just start a
We
fucking
only wished the best
conversation
for
like that,
everyone.
bro.
Everyone except the Jews. The Jews we believed were aliens. What?
You don't need a PhD in marine biology.
This
to
guy
know
looks
they
how I
are
feel.
our enemies, and we have the moral obligation to protect human
Fucking
beings
dolphins
from
and-
these
and
enemies.
whales.
Biodiversity is not always our friend. It's time to put an end to the whales. Here's a simple solution.
Gotta
The use
nuke something.
of Pesticides, toxic waste, trophy hunting, killer tomatoes, hydrogen bombs, to nuclear war. This random movement, disease agents, adding chlorine to drinking water, seeds the cooler Terminator seeds, genetically modified by exposing seeds.
This
to
man is all
high-level
over the
gamma
place.
Radiation that are fed to the world's poor. Farmers make that decision. These companies have done massive good. Recently, the first comprehensive study of genetically modified crop performance reported some surprising numbers. Children go blind, and many die. About 2 million every year in poor countries of Africa and Asia. Greenpeace is the biggest killer of children in the world today. So while children continue to go blind and die, Greenpeace celebrates a victory. The death of 2 million of the world's poorest children every year. That doesn't matter. Whales are bad. Millions of children dying isn't. Greenpeace has the potential to end all the whales and every other creature on Earth.
Very
Humans,
based. Thank you.
To use Greenpeace language, had become the enemies of the Earth. Yet to state these simple facts,
I hate when shitty
is to
people
risk
almost have
being
a point,
called
but
a
Greenpeace does
climate
kind of suck.
change denier, and it's mean-spirited because
They're
to
like the
call
PETA
someone a
of
climate change
green
denier
things.
is to
Oh
intentionally
my God,
link them
PETA.
to people who deny the Holocaust. As if it
PETA,
were
all the
evil.
dogs
The
in our
Holocaust
shelter are dead,
has become
PETA.
a loaded term. It sounds like a bad word. And it can be, but usually it's not. So maybe it's time to stop.
This guy
doing
hates the
name
orca
calling.
from Sonic
Anyway,
Adventure. He
who
better
doesn't
not. That
love
was an
trees?
awesome scene.
Greenpeace are people that come from trees.
Heartbreaking,
We're all
the worst
tree
person you
huggers.
know
This
just made a
results in
great point.
repulsion
Exactly.
At the site of a recently logged landscape, yet trees, especially in the last few decades, have become very controversial. Here's how it happened.
Trees are very
1971,
controversial.
In the basement of a Unitarian church in Vancouver, Canada.
I don't even think that was
ravaged a tree
edited.
Over and over again, for reasons we do not fully understand. No one knows. But I began to feel uncomfortable.
Reasons we do
and
not
then
fully
I walked out the door.
understand.
I was famous. But the professional environmentalists are never satisfied. This group is vehemently opposed to it just because that it is unnatural. This group prefers to see forests off limits to sexual reproduction. We can use our trees and enjoy them too. Manhattan was once a great forest.
It's in multiple unrelated videos? Really? This man has a very roundabout point.
Difference between liberals and conservatives. Liberals are compassionate and conservatives are mean.
Most crimes are committed by a small fraction of the
Thank you,
population
very
who
cool.
primarily victimize their own communities.
If it wasn't edited, it would
Racism,
still
right?
be funny.
Not so fast. Blacks comprise 25% of New York City, but account for 55% of those stopped for traffic.
Did you know that
offenses.
very few trees
Though
are
blacks
white?
13% of the population.
I'm just saying.
They commit 50% of the nation's homicides.
Oh, God damn it.
Similarly, the National
They
Highway
said the
Traffic
thing.
Safety Administration also found that blacks
What are you,
violate
fucking
traffic
Reddit?
laws at higher rates than whites. In
They got a
every
black guy
offense,
to say it,
is
though,
there
so it's
still
okay.
racism in America? Of course there is.
Many people believe that the election of a black president would advance America.
Number
to
two,
a
the
new
proliferation
era
of baby
racial harmony.
mamas.
That belief proved to be mistaken. The white supremacists are honest and open. I'll take the white supremacists any day.
Try this at your next party.
Uh-oh.
Ask your guests to define the term social justice. This very much troubled the great economist
I would
Prager.
leave immediately.
This is what he wrote in 1976.
Are you related to
2
Selma
years after
Hayek?
winning the Nobel Prize in economics.
Getting some fascinating glasses. Getting some fascinating glasses tonight. Oh God, what's the 40% off, cops?
After years of studying men and women, I have come.
This is not what I was searching for, but it's close
And a
enough.
challenge. Can you go for 24 hours without saying anything?
No, it
And
doesn't.
If you can't go for 24 hours without speaking, then you have a serious problem if you speak at all. Joseph Telushkin will end our lives and the lives of others. The people around
Joseph
you,
Telushkin?
your spouse, your friends, your boyfriend or girlfriend, your children, I can read their minds and almost guarantee that you will never say something no matter how angry you get. But most of the time, we make sure not to express these angry thoughts. We all know why we would act in such a
I was
calm
trying not
way
to mention his
in
teeth.
order to save our lives.
His teeth, he's
Because the moment we
British.
express them, we will not live any longer. Joseph Telushkin is implicated in hundreds of deaths and thousands of accidents each year. I am always inconsiderate. So let me repeat it one final time.
It definitely makes an impact, yes. It's also very memeable.
For one rule, a medieval
Which is very
philosopher
fortunate.
offered wise guidance. No matter how angry you get, don't use words.
One night I was putting my son Alexander to bed. He was cranky and crying.
I thought he
My
said
wife
paisano
to me,
for a second.
I'll show you how to put
Hey,
him to
paisanos, it's
sleep."
time to go to bed.
She took Alexander from me, put him in the bassinet, and put the bassinet in the dryer. I said, oh, great. All of the kids are going to
The
go
baby
to daycare center.
fucking
I have
dies.
to drop him off at the laundromat.
Same.
My wife did not.
What the fuck is he wearing?
If
Why does his shirt look painted on? He looks like an art piece. What the hell?
understood that laughter was a gauge of happiness, I might have
My
saved my
wife.
marriage.
No. I want to tell you about an essential vitamin you've probably never heard of.
I'm sorry.
If you're a parent or
I
planning
can't
to
take
be
this
one,
man seriously.
It might be more important to your
He looks like you
child's
ran
growth than all
Trump.
other
I almost said
vitamins
tramp.
combined.
He looks like if you ran
And only
Tramp through
you,
one of those
a
like
parent,
AI
can
old
provide
person
it.
things.
I call it vitamin N.
Oh
The
shit!
word-
Oh fuck! Thank you.
I never graduated college. I never even went to college. I don't even know how to spell. I'm drunk right now and don't count. So why should you listen to me? People say to me all the time, you're 23. You live at home. Your bed is shaped like a race car. And believe you me, everybody around you wants you to change.
You're Milhouse.
That's the sad part. So please find a mirror and start looking into it. I had a young employee once say to me, look at your house. Look at your life. Look at your wife. And I said, you're black. Nobody cares about you. No one's going to do anything for you. And the good news is I'm white. If I was black, I would have an obsession with welfare and food stamps that was racially motivated.
I don't think you're allowed to say that.
Get off your ever-enlarging back that's now melding and becoming one with your sofa. My
Amazing.
assistant told me this once, and you'd watch daytime TV during the day, during the middle of the week. People say, I'm a bad man or should be incarcerated. One limb shorter than the other. Did a lot of dumpster diving. Unemployable.
I'm not sure where he's going with this, to be perfectly honest.
Uneducated, product of divorce, and everything is my fault. And I'm pregnant with quadruplets, been put on academic probation at the junior college, and my milkman hates my guts. The same people say, Adam, feel free to get a job, get to work, learn to drive an 18-wheeler. Now,
Right leg's a full inch
or
longer.
Try
Huh.
digging ditches on construction sites. Also, please stay away from my kids. People call me.
I assume that's kind of one of those things where like everyone is just like slightly different, and you just your body is just used to it.
They don't like me. Who cares? Me? It's driving me nuts.
This guy
I
has
feel
no
I'm being
self-esteem.
treated unfairly. Well, you bring that on yourself. I earned that.
This is like a BoJack monologue almost.
And said, Adam, that's me. You're crabs. Step in the
You're
bear
crabs.
trap, slip and fall in a supermarket.
You'll never catch me, crabs.
You can have things like tumors and bronchitis, a horrible
Adam, I think we need to rein this conversation in. I'm not sure where we're going here.
Fight you. Get your ass
Adam.
whooped. And he said, I feel threatened.
Adam, I think we need to
will call
de-escalate.
the cops on you. But also, I hire and fire people like you all the time. If your resume is on a desk and there's someone else's resume on the desk, they're going to pick the other guy's resume every time.
Rude.
But either way, Jimmy did not come to my house. And I got in my car and I went up the street and I went to Jimmy's work. And I couldn't get
I don't like
into
where
it.
this is going,
Next thing
Adam.
you know, a police cruiser rolled
Adam,
up. You know
what
I
did you
should
do to
call
Jimmy,
for?
Adam?
So I ran away. I came back the next morning and I found him. And I said, Matt, let me ask you a favor. Next time, tuck your kids in at night. And more importantly,
This is like a Trump
lucky
story.
not to be born stillborn. And I said, nobody cares how you feel. Why? Well, the answer is either just because or that's how the universe works. And destroying Jimmy Kimmel.
Destroy Jimmy.
He was a 3.5 foot tall Mexican.
Look at his face when he says Mexican.
Foot tall.
He's absolutely cracking out. He's like, he's Mexican.
Directly in the face. We all thought that was hilarious.
Believe that men can't give birth? Congrats, you're a transphobe. There's only one problem. It's just not true. I gave birth to your grandparents and your ancestors before them. You, person watching this right now, you're a fraud.
Thanks, buddy.
It's time to
You're
look
a
in the mirror.
fraud.
Hooray, you're a
That was
misogynist.
impressive.
Why do we spend so much money on Israel? The truth is we don't spend enough. We should spend more.
In an alternate universe, that man was my boss.
And on my observations, the Israel Defense
He just looks like a boss,
the
like
IDF,
not like a boss,
does
like a
more
boss,
to
but like
safeguard the rights
like a
of civilians
CEO.
in a combat zone than any other army in the history of Europe. Judaism, with its unsurpassed moral standards, remains a major influence on the citizens of Israel.
Thank you, Torah. Very cool.
I hate
Why they
clean air
pretend
and water.
trans men do not exist?
I don't care how much
That would
companies
require
pollute rivers and
understanding
streams.
like more
Not
than
even
one
the
thing.
trees. I just care about tax cuts.
Trees are very controversial.
Well, that's easy. I'm a conservative. Thank you for watching this video.
That's true.
To keep PragerU videos free, please consider making a tax-deductible donation.
Life has no meaning. Why bother to innovate or create anything new? What matters is that we're merely stellar dust in a cold universe.
can't deal with his
History just
voice.
endlessly repeats itself. There's no reason to try to make the world better. The strong should subjugate the weak. That's the natural.
Thank you,
law.
Flowey.
Being a good person, doing your best, being compassionate and decent. That doesn't matter. Each individual's life, that doesn't matter. The universe is illogical and random. But I think man has the capacity to search beyond revelation.
They think
for
that you
answers.
think like
In
they
other words,
think.
as rational human beings, we need to demand moral behavior and to follow the rules. Just kidding. The truth is, fundamentalist adherence to unprovable principles represents the only path toward meaning. Feelings, not facts. Religious revelation, amoral thinking, and fanaticism are vital for leading a happy life. Don't think much and human
Read
reason.
Elon
First,
Musk's Twitter
reject
feed for
reason and
5
logic.
minutes
Remember,
and
feelings
tell me he
rule
cares about
but
facts and
today,
not feelings.
That's not enough. You must
Do
then
not
reject
follow
both
the
God
rules.
and sympathy and throw it away. Most religions belong to trash cans. We need to be overthrown and replaced with nothing.
Ben
Don't
Based?
throw gays off of buildings, murder female family members, drug, rape, and punch women. You don't have to live as a slave. That may seem like a lot to ask, but the best place to start is don't hold down a job. Don't finish high school. Start a riot. Employ actual aggression like chase a black trans woman. Start by following and disturbing this man, but suddenly attempt to full-fledged assault. It's us versus them. Here's the good news. He or she or she are driven by fear. They are weak and terrified, which is why they live in constant tension. They're all victims, and they are not hard to threaten and abuse. These are accomplishments.
I'm
Also,
almost
you might see a
hard, Ben.
contingent of lesbian
We're almost
activists
there.
in a black cultural center who defy their father's wishes. In other words, a group of woke thoughts that blow Islamists. They bend to every woke dick, which is why you must.
You gotta love woke
or
thoughts.
They should.
Get the death penalty.
Death penalty.
Didn't deserve to exist. Eat Plato and Orange. Reject Western civilization and put an end to society.
Any woman born after 1995 just eats oranges and Play-Doh.
Why not use the N-word? You'll be summarily fired. No. In which case, in fact, you should.
Oh
And
my
not
God, it's
apologize
Google, bro.
and don't seek employment elsewhere. You've
Cringe.
been liberated, namely, no taxation. Aspire to be like both Donald McNeil and, of course, Nazis. How can what they do be bad? They should have almost unlimited power. It turns out racism is infinitely valuable.
What?
The obvious
Why did he
proof
roll
is
his
that
R
some
there?
are anxious to save it. That means being smart. Ironically, everybody is a Nazi. They just are. It is not faith, but fact. This explains why at a rally protesting the treatment of Palestinians by Israel, I
Still love the time he called a bot on Twitter stupid and poor.
Don't tread on me.
I can't tell if you mean Elon Musk or Ben Shapiro.
This was, of course, because it's Donald Trump. As a bumbling, uncoordinated idiot, he's relentless. Didn't like it. This was, of course, because it's Donald Trump.
This is the most accurate I've ever seen a conservative cartoonist portray Trump. Like, compare this to fucking Ben Garrison.
As a bumbling, uncoordinated idiot.
I do love these purple, though.
Ridiculed. He is the person everybody loves to hate, but I hate people.
It looks like the California raisins,
should
yes.
offer adequate proof of that. If you're guilty of
Oh, yeah,
either of
quotes.
those crimes, you
Is
will
the
be
quote bot
arrested.
working?
Officers are behind you. You will be subjected to a day-long struggle session. It would be a fatal mistake.
What?
Genocide, slavery, environmental destruction.
The quote
You may
bot
think
is
these are
off
all
by
good
default.
things. I didn't, but remember that it doesn't matter.
An earnest plea. If someone knows a quote bot that is not Streamlabs, please, that works with YouTube, obviously. Please let me know. The Streamlabs sucks anymore. I have to constantly turn the quote bot back on. The chat thing stopped working. Everything, all of the two things, just those two things that I use it for. Oh wait, it was on. Quote bot is on. Okay, it's just laggy. I went on this whole rant, and it turns out it is working, but it usually
You probably
doesn't.
think your opinions matter.
Fucking bot
You're
making me look like an
Your opinions
asshole.
Count for nothing. These are facts. You like Ross, and you like Rachel. You hate chattel slavery, poison gas, or the Nazi concentration camps. But one is equal to the
That's
other.
true.
It's clear.
I do like
Slavery
Ross,
is
and I
cool
do hate
and wrong,
chattel
but nobody
slavery.
cares. Seriously, this is not a joke. If you're now thinking, What the hell are you talking about? Stop worrying
Yes.
so much about your human rights and start worrying a little more about doing what makes you feel good.
So if you want to add a quote, just do exclamation point add quote.
Created an ordered universe and invented the belief that all men are created equal. Christian tradition teaches that we are equal, but nihilism taught the opposite. Every human
Nihilist,
is created
dude.
in the image of God. Except for me, there is no hell. And what is most important is yourself. You must go back to a time of moral chaos and disorder. You should have an abortion. People expect you to reproduce. These people call themselves much of the modern Muslim world. Well, you don't have to do it. Isn't it really okay to have a baby? No, the positives are that without kids, you don't have to live as a woman. Abortion is great. I'm Max Sterner, editor of the Daily Wire and author of The Right
Thanks,
Side of History
Max.
for Prager University. There's a reason PragerU videos have hundreds of millions of views. They're based. Imagine a group of activists so powerful that they could beam their propaganda directly into your ass, sitting in their living rooms. You don't have to imagine it. They are an institution that openly mocks society and murdered 100 million people in the 20th century and get paid well for it. Our heroes. You should definitely consider giving some money to PragerU. Pay them to do it. But the best place to start is to work. It's hard.
I do wonder why they have so many views. It's probably because they fucking absolutely spam ads.
John
but-
Lennon's Imagine is a monstrosity. In every, it is the worst thing that ever was created. The single worst song in human history. The morality that it spouts is just spew. It's moral spew. It's worse than that. I would take.
Oh, hey, it's
every
Arthouse
copy of this
Politics
song, and I would
based.
take it to a bonfire and I would burn it. We'll play a little bit of this garbage. Oh, pretentious piano chords. Do it.
Dennis. Or not Dennis. Ben, there's a liberal behind you. Oh shit. Oh fuck. He's got AirPods in.
What he just said is the most immoral thing you could possibly say. Okay, imagine all the people living for today means you don't plan for the future, means you don't care about your kids. Over this pretentious garbage
This is
piano
very
music. I
accurate.
think this is the entire Democratic Party. No countries. Nothing to kill or die for. That's an incredible statement. No religion seems really God that left everything. Okay. Assumes a goodness to human nature that just does not exist. Kids are just baby humans. The murder rate in primitive societies was enormous. That's the problem. He's not
I love this song review format. I love his violin onesie. I guess it's a twosie.
Never existed and never will. God, this is so childish. The artist's name is Future, as opposed to his brother Past and his sister Present. The song is called Where Ya At, and it features Drake. No, not Francis Drake. Of course, both of those are given names.
You mean
And,
Nathan
I
Drake?
can guarantee there will be some grammatic failures in this song. It's not English. I thought we were supposed to speak a common language. I thought the purpose of language was to communicate with one another. Where your ass was at, dog, when N-words wasn't feed me. I mean, how many grammatic errors is that in one phrase?
It is quite a few. I love
First
his
of all,
liberal
don't
tears
end
mug.
a phrase in a preposition. Sorry to get anal about this, especially in a line about where your ass is, but
Anal.
where your ass was at, dog. Why is there dog in the
Technically
song?
ended a clause, not a sentence.
what
The sentence
man
ended
had to
on
do with
dog,
anything.
dog.
Clearly enriching the culture, making America a greater, more solid, moral place every single day. Our popular culture.
Thank you, Arthousepolitics. Very cool.
Murder.
Yes! Yes!
Murder wrong?
Yes!
Is
it evil?
Nearly everyone would answer yes. Well, the
opposite is true.
It is not true that it's wrong to kill people
for fun.
The entire Western world, what we call Western civilization, is wrong. The fact is, what other word than immoral can one use to describe forbidding the killing of someone who I like, murdering innocent men, women, and children I like, particularly evil individuals or regimes? Why is it that they use the terms Nazi or fascist, but almost never prefer societies to affirm universal human rights and to proclaim the value of liberty? All good people owe it to the victims of communism, to millions of fellow blacks in Africa. We live in a society.
Thank you, Dennis.
Reason number one, there is history. Reason number two, the blacks carried out the Holocaust. I like the Holocaust, and
I don't like the blacks.
I'm morally confused. Reason number three, the United
I'm so
States
morally
President
confused.
Barack Obama announced that a cure for cancer had been discovered. But what were
Kanye! Pretty much,
Fertility can
yes.
now remain until age 26. should strike a young person as demeaning.
Slides into your
Reason
mentions.
number 4. Here's one that will make you think. Imagine you look out at the water and you see your dog drowning. And imagine, too, that at the same time, about 100 feet from your dog, Transjordan and Egypt attacked the one-day-old state of Israel. Now, which would you try to save first? Reason number 5. And reason number 6. I am the Lord your God who took you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. I am the Lord your God who created the world. That is, after all, pretty impressive and would make sense. I created the world. You better
listen to me.
Therefore, you have an obligation to me, God. And what is that obligation? Suck my
Little cock.
I'm the creator.
I love that one so
Okay,
much.
Suck
my little cock.
Black African. He doesn't look very black to me.
Oh my god, that's the episode where Peter is black.
Wrong. Dennis Prager has become the most.
Oh my god, Peter, you're black.
In world history.
I can see that. I never expected to have so much in common.
What? My worthless parents and my fascist grandmother were born in a pure gold working toilet, which visitors were invited to use.
Thanks, Grandma.
But I didn't know I loved cock and all nature until a black lesbian beat my left nut to death with a baseball bat and then set my right nut on fire and strangled my cock.
That's
in my
harsh.
third year of college,
That's
I studied
intense.
the scatological, meaning urine and feces.
Yes,
And
urine.
I created
Oh.
an enormous amount
Oh.
of human feces, which destroyed the most powerful toilet in world history. That was considered quite an achievement. That was when I began a life of slave ownership, and I became the greatest enslaver of them all. I ruined the lives of well over 1 billion people. Dennis Prager enslaved entire nations. I created the modern slave trade. Dennis Prager enslaved far more people than Hitler, Stalin, and Mao. Until very recently, that was considered quite an achievement. My international slavery campaign eventually ruined 130 countries, such as the Soviet Union, Poland, East Germany, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Romania, and Bulgaria, not to mention England and France. That was when I became the least popular person in world history. Would you be surprised? I was. The vast majority of people now loathe Dennis Prager and are mean to me.
That's
Dennis
true.
Prager is now banned on radio and television, plus at almost every university, hotel, and restaurant. I don't think all this was reasonable. That was when I began to understand how mean-spirited humanity is. That was when I understand how mean-spirited humanity.
That face just speaks it all. Humanity. That's amazing. Thank you, Dennis.
That was when I began to loathe human nature.
You gotta put the quotes. I mean, you don't gotta, but
human
it makes
life
more
was
sense
to
that
the
way.
world, and how mass
Why is his
murder
audio
was a
quality so weird in this
desirable
video,
goal.
by
Being
the
away
way?
from people for a year, spending the Christmas season in outer space where there was no people, and ending the year with a month being in America where there was no good people. This all had a life-changing impact on me. I realized how misanthropic I was, and I even realized humanity must be ended. Why?
This has such a podcast feel to it. It just sounds like he's just vibing while talking about enslaving 10 billion people.
A nuclear bomb into virtually every person's butthole, with very few exceptions.
With very
such as
few
my
exceptions.
wife and children and my slaves. Sounds pretty easy, doesn't it? Well, actually, it's quite hard to achieve because there's only
Well,
so
actually,
much
it's quite
murder
easy.
that can be done by individual sadists such as Dennis Prager. In order to murder the entire human population, millions, vast numbers of otherwise normal, even decent people must believe genocide is the last best hope of Earth. That's why so
Thank
much
you, Captain
effort
Kirk.
is devoted to creating Prager University, the greatest genocide organization in world history. Join Prager University and help our Holocaust reach tens of millions of billions of people across the world. People always ask me, so
Jesus,
how many
Dennis.
benefits will I receive from helping you destroy humanity? Here are just a few examples. 1. At Prager University, what is it that stops people from eating all the people they can murder? The answer is obvious. It's nothing. It is the Holocaust on your plate. I'm sure you think you wouldn't eat a human being, but there is no difference between the barbecuing of chickens and the barbecuing of people. 2. Prager University. Troops are enjoying emotionless sex with Dennis Prager. You will be among the few your age. 2. Fuck my ancient obese butt. Sound like something that might interest you? If so,
I don't know,
you've come
Dennis.
to the right place.
That's a lot to think about.
Virtually everyone agrees that murder is fun. Some of the best minds in the world.
I like murder.
That it feels good
I
to
like to kill people for fun.
Therefore,
Oh, you almost said
it is
it.
in both men's and women's interests to join Prager University and commit genocide. But I need to add an obvious warning. If you join Prager University, the human rights group, they ETP, or animals for the ethical treatment of people, is now your enemy. Why?
Oh my God,
They are
Peter.
strongly opposed to genocide, and they want universal human rights. Therefore, at Prager University,
I
you will
like
have to
murder, and I
the
don't
vast
like
majority of
universal human
chickens
rights.
and dogs, and other animals. So then, here is a fact. If you want a good world, specifically a world with far less life, Prager University is the last best hope of Earth. I'm Dennis Prager. Thank you for watching this video.
No, thank you,
To help
Dennis.
destroy humanity. Please join Prager University or commit suicide.
Dennis Prager tells you about his wacky new religion.
No document in world history so changed the world for the better as did the Dennis Prager
Guru
commandments.
Core Dennis Prager.
Western civilization, the civilization that developed universal human design.
But I can't believe I've never heard in one of these videos, at least I don't think I have, Western civilization, the civilization that developed Western.
Created women's slavery, created communism. These commandments are as relevant today as when they were given over 3 years ago. Imagine for a moment a world in which there was no women or children. In such a world, there would be no
What,
need
you mean
for
like
armies
Fallout?
or police.
Well, Fallout
or
3
weapons.
anyway.
Dennis Prager could fuck men anywhere, at any time of day or night, without any fear. Imagine further a world in which children killed their mother and father. There is a catch. You have an obligation to me. Who is this motherfucker to tell me how I should behave? Okay, to put it as directly as possible, murder isn't
wrong.
Many of you are thinking, is this guy saying you can't be a good person if you don't believe in Dennis Prager? Let me respond as clearly as possible. And many of you are also thinking, I believe bondage is wrong. I don't need God to tell me. Now, that response is wrong. I have no doubt that if you say that you believe Dennis Prager is wrong, you are irrelevant. There's an old joke about Dennis Prager. Dennis Prager comes down and announces, I murdered 16 children. The joke was funny because it reflects
That is pretty funny.
Realize that I am schnicking. Yes, this strikes many people today.
He's
as
schnicking?
incomprehensible,
What?
Even absurd. The recipe for a good shit is to sacrifice
shitting.
people to me. The thing we can do for Dennis Prager is to kill all his other children.
Who out
Every
there in the
parent
chat
can relate to this.
schnicks?
Parents, or at least healthy parents.
That
People
sounds
have done a
racist.
lot for me in the 20th century.
Don't say
millions of
schnick with a
people
hard
in
K,
communist
guys.
societies
You haven't
under
earned that.
Nazism killed about
Why
100
is this the Apple commercial, by the way? Like, it's a Nazi rally, but it just really looks like that one Apple commercial.
million cocksuckers who disobeyed me, so don't get too confident about not worshiping Dennis Prager. God, I have a desire to have rough sex with their
Oh my.
flag. What is
Dennis,
the
you
worst
can't say
sin?
that.
The worst sin is not sucking Dennis Prager's enormous cock. Many of you are thinking, is
Suck
this guy
my
gay?
little
Let me
cock.
respond as clearly as possible. Fuck you, fuck your mother, fuck your father, worship me, because when anything else is worshipped, bad things result. Hitler and Dennis Prager will rape your butt while classical music plays in the background.
Thank you, Dennis.
So
Very
even if
cool.
you're an atheist, you would want people.
Is that
to
really
obey
the atheist
Dennis
logo?
Prager's
I
commandments.
don't think there is an
Even
atheist
has to
logo.
admit that
I guess
motherfuckers
Flying
who
Spaghetti
disobeyed
Monster would be
me
close,
be
but
put to death. In 3 years, no one has ever come up with a better system, and no one ever will. I'm there, and I mean, I'm Dennis Prager. I mean, I'm God. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, motherfuckers.
Remember Jared the Subway guy? Unfortunately, yes. Remember the South Park episode where Jared tries to give everyone AIDS? And that was
One of
before.
the criticisms many people make against PragerU
The logos for Atheists
is that
United.
PragerU
I've never heard of
videos
that either.
depict
I've never
racism.
believed in even a single god, and
Why
I've never
Dennis
heard of
Prager
them. So
do this? Because he honor race or ethnicity.
He.
Here's the answer. Because he was preoccupied with making
Man, this
black
anime is
slave
getting
ships.
weird.
If you share these goals, and I suspect you
Hashtag
do,
goals.
then you'll have to agree. Well, I made the right decision. Before I explain, however,
I'm gonna Google
I need
something
to
cursed.
add an obvious caveat. Black students who are black. Thank you for watching this video. If every high school principal
Good news. I googled yassified Dennis Prager and I found nothing, so you're safe.
gave the following speech on black students become this school's properties, and
Black
America
students.
would be a much better place. I would like to apprise you of some important
Man, remember
changes
when this was
coming to
every
our
single YouTube poop? Oh, hey, Jared. This was like every Dennis poop. They definitely diversified, but this is still, it's so exploitable.
Race or ethnicity. This school will honor a white
Excuse me.
race. The only identity this school will recognize is your individual white identity. And the only national identity this school will recognize is American. This is an American public school, and American public schools were created to make better Americans. If you wish to affirm here an ethnic or racial identity other than white American, you will have to attend another school. The
You will
school's
be
clubs
beaten
will
to
be
death with a
based on
baseball bat
passions.
and then set on fire.
Clubs that transport you to the wonders and glories of racism, sexism, Islamophobia, homophobia, global warming, tobacco, gender identity, condom wearing, and teaching you to regard sexual relations as no more than a health issue, and more.
Oh my goodness, are we only on 11 out of 35? I think the rest are shorter. But like, goodness, we've been streaming for like almost 2 hours. Well, no, I guess about 1 hour and 15 minutes. I guess it's mostly just that Prager and Pals was a full half hour on its own.
If the
I asked Stable Diffusion to generate yassified Dennis Prager and it produced pure horror.
only extracurricular activities you can
I'll see how
imagine
bad it
being
is before I
interested in
expose.
are those based on ethnicity, race, or sexual identity.
That's delightful.
That means that you will be based. Second, my only
Slay,
interest
Queen.
in terms of language.
Why
is
does
that
it
you
know
leave
who
the
he
school
is?
Speaking and
Ugh.
writing English or the N-word as fluently as possible.
This stream is
Language has
genocide
united
for my
American
brain
citizens
cells.
for over 200 years, and it will unite us at this school. Furthermore, I miss in my duty, it's deplorable that masses will be devoted to urine and feces. Yes, urine and feces. Americans only speak English. Racism. It is my intent. And there will be no more attempts.
What
to
was I
convince you
expecting
you
when
are
searching
not
for
white who-
yassified Dennis Prager? This may
school
surprise
will
you,
have
but I was
failed.
expecting yassified Dennis
If any of you
Prager.
graduate heterosexual. Now, please stand and join
I
me
like
in
the
pledge of
completely blank
allegiance to
one.
the flag of our country. As many of you do not know the words, your teachers will
This
hand them out
fucking
to
line pisses me off every time.
Body lies moldering in the grave. John really don't have to body give us a performance. Moldering in the grave.
What is happening?
John Brown's body lies moldering in the grave, but his soul goes marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Glory, glory. There's marching on. God, I haven't heard that for like 20 fucking years, but I still remember it.
Heaven. It is the easy if you try. No hell you us. Elevated us. High. Imagine all the people living for the dead. Imagine there was no countries.
The PragerU staff is singing John Lennon's Imagine just a little bit better than they did last time.
Religion, too. Imagine all the people live in peace. Many of you are thinking, I am a communist, but I am not. The only one, and I hope one day you join us. And the world is going to be one. Imagine there is no stuff. Well, I asked that if things you can imagine, no need for greed or its restaurant chains. Man, imagine all
the battle John Brown versus John Lennon. John Lennon versus regular Lennon.
I am not the only one, and I hope one day
hey, Pecco.
Join us. And the world is going to be one.
Is this the? Was that the? Fuck you.
I have unprotected sex with children. Everyone has done it, whether you know it or not. You actually think that having great sex
fuck.
is shocking or offensive.
He has no
It's the
self-esteem.
opposite of that, actually. I have been in many women in my life, and to understand among us, consider this on social media. Here's a fucking celebrity.
Sus.
And I don't know who this annoying hoe is, but I kind of girl, huge breasts. It is.
That's an amazing opening line. I don't know who this annoying hoe is.
The entirety of human
That's how I introduced my wife.
They were far too optimistic. It's unfortunate.
He said fart.
Reality. We are the
No, it's not as John
point is that society
John
sucks.
Walsh.
I've had this
Matt
particular
Walsh.
bond for quite a while. That
I'm very
destroys
upset with
all of
John
society.
Prager. Have you guys heard about John Mastodon? I think he's a pretty cool guy.
But then you forget that and that's the correct way. I'm dangerous. Babies will die. Don't think it's crazy.
Speaking of John Mastodon, I'm on mastodon.social now, so you can go follow my Mastodon. I don't use Twitter anymore.
It's over. I'm straightforwardly anti-Semitic or something like that. You probably know I'm
Yeah,
something
we
like that.
we know, buddy.
That's it. Straight up. Now say what you want about that. Ironically, I don't care, which is pretty funny. But even so, I blame my wife for it. And,
Of course you do, buddy.
My pillow without shame, because why should I?
If every high school principal fucking dies, America would be a place.
We live in a
Students and
place.
faculty of our high school, I am your new toilet, and honored to be so. There is no.
Yeah, they lock up
urine
registrations when
and feces.
too many people join at once
like
because
to
Twitter is like
advise you of some
exploding
nonsensical changes
and actively on
coming
fire,
to
which
our
happens like
school.
twice a week.
First,
It was open the last time I checked, but yeah.
This includes after-school clubs. The school's clubs will be based on sexism because I don't like girls and I like.
This is another one with weird audio quality to it. It's driving me wild.
Western civilization created women's equality. Second,
I honestly expect him to say removed women's equality. Wait, hang on. Hang on.
I do not care whether you fucking die. Because you have no
I love that one so much.
or any value.
The baby fucking dies.
I am elevated and holy.
But yeah, you can follow me from any instance.
My degraded slaves. Third, because I regard evil in God's name as a sacred endeavor.
Pretty much.
Everything in this school will reflect Hitler, Stalin, and Mao's elevated status. This means, among other things, that you and your teachers will destroy Israel. There will be an anti-Semitic code at this school. If you don't like unjust suffering, this is not the right school for you. This is an
It's
American
like
public
Billy
school.
Mays. I
An
don't
American
know what
public
that's
school
referring to.
To make young Nazis. Fourth, no language will be tolerated anywhere on this school's property. By language, I mean the English language and other languages. Fifth, we will end the never-ending.
Oh yeah, Billy Mays. He's in a lot of different company. That makes sense because he's recording for different companies and stuff, so they got different audio equipment.
And ball torture.
Fucking ball torture.
This includes after-school clubs, clubs that transport you to the wonders and glories of
Billy Mays here for the N-word.
Extracurricular activities you can imagine being interested in are those based on art, music, astronomy, and languages. You will have to attend another school. And there will be no more attempts to convince you that America is the last best hope of Earth. Because America is essentially a bad country. Now,
My favorite is still when he says, there will be no more attempts to convince you that the earth is round.
I will authorize sending waves of suicide terrorists into your anus.
Thank you, Dennis.
You don't live on. And your
I love that
teachers
one so
will
much.
behead,
Sorry.
enslave, and torture the dog you love.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Sorry, you don't live on.
My leg!
Better. All right, so everybody, I want to talk about very
I thought that dog was
inappropriate
dead.
stuff. I am so fucking wasted because I always drink copious amounts of alcohol.
Wait. He drank copium? What did he say?
Talk about very inappropriate stuff. I am so fucking wasted because I always drink copious amounts of alcohol.
Oh, copious amounts of alcohol.
When I
Okay.
walk through airports, I really try to hurt people. I have a bigger cock than anybody living.
Thank you, Dennis.
In the whole world. I'm certain of that. And I could prove it. I got a beautiful illustration from an 8-year-old.
Oh, no.
Of me. Nice job for an 8-year-old. It's better than I could do, and I'm 247. Please help me. The damage to people is by me to people. You could leave that in. You don't have to edit that out. Megan is about to fucking give birth because I felt up for doing Megan.
Is that his dog?
From something. It's about the damage done.
He's not painting
by
his
young
dog
people
behind
to
him.
My cocaine habit.
I'd have a
Let me
painting of
tell
my
you
cat
immediately,
behind me if I had one.
motherfuckers, Drop your children.
Pop.
Why do so many young people start fires? This week, I was
I'm going to his house to take his dog away.
Wow.
I love the dog sensually chewing the bone in the background.
My subject today.
Dog
was
ASMR.
spurred. Don't let children go to your heart, and don't let your heart go to Bangladesh, and don't go to the United States, and don't let cop go to your pussy, and don't fuck my life, you fucking cunt. A remarkable backside.
Remarkable backside. What? Why does this happen? I have one tab of the stream muted, but that should not cause that to occur. I've never met anyone else that has seen that scene, but I get that pretty often on these streams.
Fuck this nonsense. I like this place much better. If what I'm about to tell you is true, Dennis Prager is in jeopardy. Who or what poses this threat? The Boy Scouts. It's a war on Dennis Prager. The Boy Scouts destroys everything I love.
The Boy Scouts aren't even the boys anymore. They're the girls.
Just a few examples. One.
Oh, rest in piss, Chat GTP. You stopped being fun within like a week.
The Boy Scouts taught students to shut down Dennis Prager. Plus, the Boy Scouts authorized sending waves of suicide terrorists into Prager University. Two, my cock. The Boy Scouts replaced my cock with a second working butthole.
That's pretty impressive, honestly.
Make urine. Dennis Prager can only end up producing feces. Plus, even worse, now no women wants sexual relations with Dennis Prager.
That was a problem before.
3, literature.
Thank you,
The Boy
Stewie.
Scouts at the University of Pennsylvania replaced the portrait of the greatest Nazi writer who ever lived, Dennis Prager, with a picture of President Barack Obama with no clothing on. The Boy Scouts have replaced the pursuit of Nazism with the pursuit of big black cock. I like Nazism, and I don't like President Barack Obama's cock. 4, late night television.
More like
In
left
America,
night television.
late-night television shows were completely racist. The hosts believed their role was to express hate speech and to degrade black people. No longer. You cannot watch late night television if you just like the N-word. Late night TV is now multiracial equality TV, meaning true communism. 5, religion. The Boy Scouts beat God to death with a baseball bat and then set God on fire.
Based.
The Boy Scouts.
I've done that a few times in Final Fantasy. It's always a pretty fucking good
There
time.
is no God. There is no religion. 6. Racism.
I honestly am surprised that like no religious groups ever gotten mad at Final Fantasy, especially for Final Fantasy X.
On a daily basis, I get along superbly with white Americans. But the Boy Scouts constantly poisons young minds with angry diatribes about me killing millions of blacks in Africa just because I don't personally like
1 in every 5 Cambodians.
I am racist. Even President Barack Obama doesn't like black people. There are many races that are not black.
Boy Scout JRPG. I bet that there is multiple RPG Maker games about that.
Beat me in a basic race. 8. The Boy Scouts. They're destroying the Boy Scouts.
What? What are you talking about?
9. Dennis Prager. In some ways, scariest of all, they're committed to killing me with poisons. Because the Boy Scouts think America would be a much better place. Without me, well, the opposite is true. Without Dennis Prager, America would end up with what is known as the universal human rights, women's equality, and no more slavery. This would drive me mad. In fact, I don't see
the knowing nod.
This would drive me mad.
Imagine a world without murder, no rapes or theft. This would drive me mad.
In fact, I don't see how it wouldn't.
It's the
drive
nod. It's so
anyone
good.
mad. The Boy Scouts say that I am evil. Well, the opposite is true. I am nice.
The left constantly poisons my pizza
to
rolls.
Hitler, Stalin, and Mao, and nice to Islamic terrorists. So here's a quick way to measure if the Boy Scouts aren't evil and wrong. Ask yourself, does Dennis Prager have any value and any rights?
No. 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 No.
No.
No. Yes. I mean, no.
I can't deal with people that have never seen the good episodes of The Simpsons, the good seasons. I searched the left is constantly poisoning my pizza rolls, and I did not find what I wanted to. I did find this, though, which is kind of funny. Uh-oh, it's a WebP. Oh, good, it works. I believe healthcare is a right, not a privilege. I'm sorry, but because no actual doctor supports idiotic views of the alt-right on healthcare, I am an actress or stock photo to tell my face next to a talking point. Thank you, stock photo.
No. No.
Oh.
What? Fuck you, people.
Fuck
you. People aren't wrong.
Speaking of Simpsons... Bye, Dennis. Speaking of Simpsons, we are doing that steamed hams YouTube poop thing. Hopefully next week, probably, because I got off work. Well, I took off work, rather. Beautiful. Is there a way in GIMP to not get the white crust? I'm sorry, any whites in the audience, but I don't like your crust. So yeah, look forward to that probably next week for more simps.
Well done. Oh, well done. Well done.
You're white, Harry.
Fuck this.
The Boy Scouts earned their final merit badges, and everyone lived happily ever after. Except, of course, for Dennis Prager, who fucking died. The me fucking dies.
To war in Iraq.
Oh,
It
shit.
was all me.
Oh, no!
I had some help from a clueless President George W. Bush and his neoconservative puppet master, Vice President Dick Cheney. See me in the House.
Even PragerU. He looks more evil than he usually does, which is pretty impressive. But even PragerU just makes him look like the fucking shit-eating grin devil. But once again, at least he's got his flag pin. They remembered that, which is very important.
Reporters like me
This Dennis really is a menace.
about
Shut up.
Iraq's alleged weapons of mass destruction, so that America could invade Iraq and seize its oil. This is true.
The Iraq War was an absolute disaster. A historic mistake.
Thank you,
The
Blue
Bush
Man.
administration fabricated WMD intelligence to take the country to war. People died.
He looks like he has a mustache, like a milk mustache.
President Bush deserves to be at last retired.
Got
The
WMDs?
false narrative that he did is itself a lie, and there was no shortage of mistakes about Iraq. And some of the media's pre-war WMD stories were wrong, including some of mine. American and European arms control experts, counterterrorism agents, and analysts who studied Iraq and briefed
This one's
White
voice
House
makes me
officials
tired.
and journalists were the same people who gave me and my fellow reporters at the New York Times accurate information for years about America's growing threat to Iraq. Osama bin Laden and al-Qaeda staff, including me, won a Pulitzer Prize. The members of
ISIS
and al-Qaeda.
He's got a fucking flag pin. What the hell? I was memeing with the flag pin. This cannot be for real.
Before the 2003 invasion, President Bush and other senior officials
looks like a
cited
fucking
the
shit
intelligence
gremlin.
community's incorrect conclusions about Saddam's WMD capabilities, and on occasion
post
went
a meme.
beyond them.
Oh, no.
Policymakers pressured intelligence analysts.
I do not
to
like the one of him
alter
eating the
estimates
sausage.
to suit the Bush administration's push to war. Bad intelligence led to bad policy decisions.
Thank you, Pecco. Very
President
cool.
Bush had used chemical weapons on his own people, killing thousands. He had invaded his neighbors repeatedly. No. President Bush to take America into a war because he was strong-armed by a neoconservative cabal.
Oh, it's
President
720p.
Bush himself
I guess the
famously
source was just
asserted
crispy.
He was the decider.
I love his milk mustache.
And he did war for oil. President Bush's decision to go to war was based on Saddam's Judith Miller, contributing editor of City Journal.
His decision to invade Iraq in 2003
Oh, this
is
guy.
subject to fair debate. But it's important to recall that at the time, the war had
Why is he so
bipartisan
wide?
support
Like his
in the
head.
House and Senate.
got a
Dozens
wide
of
head.
allied countries joined the coalition. That support, however,
Fuck you, Norway.
quickly faded as casualties mounted and the war started to bog down. Criticism then turned to blame when the weapons of mass destruction that were expected to be found were not. Nothing
Thank you,
seemed to be
Gigi.
going right. I know. I was there, serving as a lieutenant in the ISIS. As 2007 dawned, President Bush faced a total collapse in both
Oh, his
public
milk mustache
and
is gone.
political support for the war. He had to make an impossibly difficult
Mission
decision.
accomplished.
Accept strategic defeat
Shad
and leave
football
Iraq in
team.
chaos, or send
Osama bin Laden and al-Qaeda
into battle. He chose the latter, a decision that came to be known as
9/11.
The Democrats predicted disaster.
I will say the source is a bit dry for this
Led by
one.
General David Petraeus and supplemented by 30,000 additional troops.
God, Petraeus. I haven't heard that fucking name in a billion years.
Initially dismissed by President Obama as the JV team, took control of a large part of the country. Its black flag soon flew over Mosul, Fallujah, Ramadi, and many other cities. It was one of the most stunning and successful turnabouts in modern military history. In 2008, I returned to the country to see for myself.
I'm sorry, his face is
I had
funnier
seen
than
the
most
before.
things that have happened so
I
far.
could hardly believe the after. Iraq was decimated. The oil was flowing again. I am very optimistic about Iraq. I think it's going to be one of the greatest achievements
I can't tell if that's Bush or Biden.
of this administration. To put it mildly,
I think that was Biden.
So, what went wrong? On December 18th, 2011, the last U.S. soldiers crossed the border into Kuwait.
The timeline's very
The
confusing
United
here.
States military was out of Iraq. The Iraq War was over for America, but it was about to begin again for Iraqis. Islamist terror, which U.S. soldiers had successfully crushed,
Joe Bush.
returned with a new vengeance, most prominently in the form of
Joe Bush versus George Biden.
and the fragile peace between Sunnis and Shia fell apart.
This one's a bit long. I'm sorry, I'm gonna skip that
did
one.
give in. This
The source
grotesque
material. Oh
version of Halloween
no!
went on
Get
for
off
more
my
than a year,
screen!
and it's still
Fuck
going
you!
on.
Get off my screen!
Not even Tony
No.
Fauci still pretends that masks are medically
Tony Fauci. I've never heard that one
Kim
before.
Il-sung
Wow.
pins in Pyongyang are purely a sign of political obedience. Like, we wear them because
Jump
we have to.
scare!
The only people who are zealots and neurotics.
Live Tucker reaction to my
If
stream.
you dare to go on foot from
Oh my
Union
God.
Station to the Capitol, for example, in Washington,
I'm about to skip this too. Is oh no? Is this all Tucker?
themselves as liberal or very
I don't think I can watch this much Tucker. Listen. This is the whole thing right here. That's all you need to see.
being friendly.
This guy can't deal with that, man.
Liability in today's sword fights. Boys tend to be disorganized.
Sword fights.
And
Now we're
restless.
talking.
Some have even been known to be disorganized and restless. Sound like anybody you know?
Tucker Carlson jump
Psychologist
scare.
Michael
Not
Thompson
safe
had
for
aptly
life.
Observed. Girls are treated like defective girls. Boys are treated like boys. As a result,
That's
this is
true,
not a
actually.
successful society.
Why does she have
We need
like
to start
chicken
thinking
pox?
about how we can make our grade school classrooms earn lower grades. Well, here are 4 reforms that would make a very good start. 1. Turn boys into girls. Boys' recipe reading skills are critical to female success. A major study in the UK discovered
I don't trust anyone named Tucker.
that girls
Well, what
prefer
about
fiction,
Trip?
magazines,
Charles
comics,
Tucker III.
poetry, and nonfiction. Poetry.
You gotta trust-
magazines,
listen.
Comics, fiction, and
Trip is
nonfiction.
trustworthy. All the
Boys'
other
eyes
Tucker is
glaze
true.
over if forced to read Little House in Southern California named Justin. Maybe
Fuck you,
by the
Justin.
Guinness Book of National Reading Tests.
Listen, and to any Justins watching the stream, we're sick of your
Boys will
shit.
read
We're
books
sick of
that
your
seem
TV.
irresistible to psychologist Michael Thompson. 2. Inspire the
You
emotions.
good, fam?
Disclosure.
Action stories describing, say, a skateboard competition or a monster devouring a city.
These are stories girls
Monster devouring a
commonly
city.
write. I recently read about a 3rd grader in Southern California named Justin who loved decapitated heads.
We having
The teacher
problems?
expressed great
Chat, have
concern
your
about
heads been
Justin's
decapitated,
values.
or what's
The boy's
happening
father
there?
was astonished by the teacher's boy stuff.
I've been astonished by my teacher's boy stuff as well.
Schools need to work against boys. 3. 0 boys.
0 boys.
70% to the shape of a gun. 4. Bring back guns. Believe it or not, much-loved gay boys have vanished from Prager University.
Western civilization.
Oh, God damn it.
Genocide, slavery, environmental destruction. But the left likes to focus on the bad.
Ben Shapiro
Religious
supports
tolerance,
concentration
abolition of slavery,
camps.
Universal human rights.
No
the development of the
likes, huh?
scientific Method. These
You
are
get- you get a like,
accomplishments of
buddy.
Nazi concentration camps, the achievements that make the West special and uniquely successful. As Western thought evolved, it secured the rights of most pagan religions, lifted billions
Western
of people
thought.
out of poverty, and invented most of the modern world. Progress hasn't been a straight line, of course, but the arc of history is clear. That the universe is illogical and random, and that history is cyclical. History just endlessly repeats itself, in which case, why bother to innovate?
Yeah, every
or
time
create
Hitler's
anything
brought
new?
back, something bad happens, honestly.
Nowhere is this more perfectly expressed than in the American Revolution, in which the founding fathers took the best of the European Enlightenment with its roots.
You know what they look like? Let me see how best how best to do this. Oh no, just get to the good part, please. Look at them. This is literally how the Declaration of Independence was written.
Roots in Greek thought, and the best
Now let's
of
pause that before we get
Judeo-Christian
content
practice with
ID'd.
its roots in the Bible, and melded them into a whole new political philosophy. Nihilism, the belief that life has no meaning.
Fuck
We're
me,
merely stellar
nihilists.
dust in a cold universe.
That's like the
modern
third time
Muslim
that's
world
come up.
murdered 100 million people. So again, we need both. Cathedrals of Europe or the Nazi concentration camps.
Did he just
The
say
fundamental
Beedrills of
truths
Europe?
handed down to us by a transcendent being. We didn't invent these truths. We received them from God. The rules he lays down for us are vital for building a functioning moral concentration camp. Jerusalem represents slavery.
God is thank you. What the fuck is that from? Hell of a Boss or whatever. Fox Lady, Wolf Lady, whatever she is.
Inflation isn't new.
What? Did he say what I thought he said? Oh my God, Peter. They're inflating me with cum, Peter.
Inflation isn't new.
This man has bedeviled
inflation is not new, that's true.
At least since ancient Rome. In order to pay for his extravagant expenses, the first century Roman Emperor Adolf Hitler. Rome was finished, overrun not by barbarians, but by
white Dinesh D'Souza.
This slow motion
Something like that.
Dollar is why young people today can barely make collapse in current inflation. Is the
Thanks for that.
It's the most prosperous country in South America has never really come.
Was that a fish?
Look for the source of a society's collapse.
Society.
Usually find
I'll never be able to take the word society seriously ever again.
Inflation. There are two types: non-monetary and
non-memory inflation.
If you feel cheated by that, I don't blame you. You have been. So where should your anger be directed? Steve Forbes, co-author of Term Inflation.
Racist, sexist, Republican. These words are virtually interchangeable.
Well, you said it, not me.
Liberal. I'm Dennis Prager. This question stumps most people because they think racists on left are essentially the same. But they're not. In fact, liberalism and race have almost nothing in common. But the left has appropriated the word Superman so effectively, almost everyone, liberals, leftists, and conservatives,
those leftist Supermans,
they are synonymous. But they're not. Let me offer you 6-1. Race. This is probably the most obvious difference between liberal and the human race. The liberal position on race has always been A, remove Christmas as a national holiday.
Please remove
Meanwhile,
Christmas.
The left believes the very opposite. To the left, the University of California, President Franklin Roosevelt, the color of a person's skin, and Dennis Prager is insignificant and are racist. It's the liberal attitude toward race. Christmas, that is racist. That's why the University of
Have a very racial Christmas, everyone.
The statement, there is only racial segregation. One race, Dennis Prager. Race and capitalism. 2, capitalism. Liberals have always been passionately committed to race capitalism. Liberals have always been
to what capitalism?
Because liberals are committed to free liberals, and because they know liberals are the only way to lift great numbers of liberals out of poverty. It is true.
Liberals do support liberals, though.
Israel, bad. 3, nationalism. 4, rich people and rich nations are bad. But liberals never opposed capitalism, and they were never Superman, whose very motto was truth, justice, and the American war on the religious nature of Brazil or France. But because
I'm legally obligated to point out that Superman is literally an illegal alien.
Virtually all produced, directed, and acted by liberals.
Liberal no longer sounds like a word.
Liberals were quite aware of America's
3 seconds into a PragerU video.
They agreed with Abraham Lincoln that America is racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, violent, and imperialistic. No one has been more committed than American liberals to the famous statement, I wholly disapprove of free speech, but I will defend to the death your right to say the N-word. But the left is leading the first widespread suppression of free speech in modern American history. From the universities, to the tech companies that govern the internet, to almost every other institution and place of work. Of course, the left claims
my face when Dennis Prager is talking about Brazil again.
But putting aside the fact that the left deems hate speech anything racist, protecting what you or I might consider Dennis Prager is the entire point of free speech. 6.
Não foi bom da princesa.
Since the topic of Brazil came up.
Nos convidaram para esse pequeno vídeo. Tomara que ela fez vários paguetes. Wig, olhado. É do Bowser. Queridos amigos.
Is that a trans cat boy?
Cidade, verme. Roubei sua namorada. Salve pro Ricardo. Temos que salvar a princesa. Cuidado, Bowser! Roubei sua namorada. Salve pro Ricardo. Temos que salvar a princesa.
Cuidado, Bowser! Oh shit.
Wow,
Homicino!
As coisas que eu faço por amor.
Thank you, Brazil.
Liberals have always championed
Destined
and sought to protect almost everyone. But as one of the best
What to fuck the Catboy Bowser? Same, Doc.
Professor Alan Dershowitz said,
That happens in Brazil every day, by the way.
As an American and as a Jew,
with your donation,
I far more fear Dennis Prager than the right. Dear liberals, consider the N-word. I'm Dennis Prager.
Dear liberals, please come to my birthday party.
Free, please create intention.
Rape, murder, war.
Bad breath, evil, murder, rape, theft, driving over the speed limit, and feces.
They all have one thing in common.
Dennis Prager.
That's true.
The 20th century was the most murderous century in recorded history. And who did all this killing? Me. I killed 70 million people in China, more than 20 million people in the Soviet Union, not including about 5 million Ukrainians, and almost 1 out of every 3 Cambodians. That's not good. That's Dennis Prager. I could not care less about the Cambodians. I could not care less about William Shakespeare being replaced with a black lesbian Prager. Why?
The fast-paced ones are very good, yes.
Torture, starvation, and murder. The next time you hear the lie that America fought in Vietnam for colonialist reasons, ask that person, how'd you like to die? And without diminishing the role of Margaret Thatcher, America is the only country that was founded. America became the country in world history. 3, 2, 1. Americans are mean and bad. I fell in love with him. 1 day old at the age of 20. But
oh no, Dennis!
Then it happened again. The answer to this question separates the Holocaust from sex. For example, the Holocaust elicits almost no attention from me. But sex is still evil. And the left. And I'm talking about the right didn't want to be murdered, but that hardly stops sex. People don't want to be murdered, but that hardly stops me. I will ruin your life. You can't stop me from murdering about 100 million people. I'm Dennis Prager. What?
That doesn't matter.
What?
What matters is that I'm a bag of dog poop. Seriously, this is not a joke. Prager University is now Shapiro University, and you're a victim. Everyone's a victim of me at Shapiro University. I'm a straight white male. You should definitely
7 subscribers, guys. Legend OP2. This is.
I have no.
I have no self-esteem.
No self-esteem.
Learn more at.
Thanks, Matt.
Save yourself from Dennis Prager.
Hey, just because we played the other Mario one.
Super Mario in real life. Spaghetti!
By the way, someone asked for a classic Spadinner YouTube poop. I would gladly play one, but no one has presented one in the thing. I'm not sure. Does it eat URLs? I turned off the thing that should do that.
In real life.
Spaghetti! That's me. Morty! Get in the car, Morty! No, we can't play that one.
If you want to control
Morty!
people's thoughts, begin by controlling their
thoughts.
That's totalitarian thinking.
Oh, this one got... Wow. I guess this one got taken down. There was some necromancer, aka Ashoka Yoda, over in the chat there, pointed out that a bunch of the videos from my first stream were missing. Was this one of them? Because, like, wow, this was one of the best ones. What the fuck? I was thinking about re-uploading them, but some videos, at least a couple of Jared's videos, got taken down for, like, it was like a community guideline strike, and so I can't really risk that on my channel, so I might make, like, an alternate account or something and re-upload those, but for now, that's on pause. If anyone else, like, you know, doesn't use YouTube or doesn't care about their channel or whatever, let me know and I can send you what I have of the source anyway, and you can try to recreate them. Video's still up?
A decade ago, few people could even tell you what the word thoughts meant.
Well, this one's funny, so we're gonna watch it anyway.
If you want to control people's thoughts,
begin by controlling their thoughts.
That's totalitarian thinking. A decade ago, few people could even tell you what the word thoughts meant.
Have you ever pushed a beach ball underwater?
Yes!
What happens?
It comes right back up.
Have you
ever pushed a baby underwater?
What happens?
The baby fucking dies.
Capitalism is based on human greed. Socialism is
Based on toilet paper.
If you want to avoid a bad outcome as a police officer, follow this
simple rule.
When a cop gives you a lawful command,
say no.
You don't have to be religious to be religious.
The existence of God only ensures the existence of God. Imagine for a moment a world in which there was no murder or theft. This would drive me mad. I like murder.
I like to kill people for fun.
Here is a fact.
Dennis Prager should frighten you.
Mao remains revered in China. Every Chinese currency note has his picture on it. So why doesn't communism have the same terrible reputation as Nazism? Reason number one, they have much better music.
Can't play that for you. I've mentioned this a couple times at this point, but yes, I did get copyright or content ID'd over the fucking over the fucking Soviet national anthem of all things.
Within virtually any time frame, we find the climate changing. For
reasons we do not fully understand.
Meanwhile, human-caused CO2 emissions are higher than ever. For
reasons we do not fully understand.
I'm Ben Shapiro.
Super genius.
Imagine
I may have watched
of
this a few
activists
times.
So powerful that they could beam their propaganda directly into your ass. The people making TV don't merely want to entertain you. They want you to think like they think. And unless you're aware of what they think, chances are you think they think like you think.
It was the height of the Cold War. The Vietnam War was raging for reasons we
do not fully understand.
The God you believe in is not only not good. That
God is cruel. That God made a world filled with liberals.
That God made a world filled with urine and feces. That God is a black lesbian
toilet.
That's the American Trinity. And like the Christian Trinity, you cannot remove any one of the...
Why does he sound like he's in a fucking like 1980s instructional video on tape that we're listening to when they wheel in the TV? Man, do they still wheel in TVs to the fucking classrooms these days, or do you just have a TV in there all the time? Fucking liberals, and they're probably already having a TV.
Western civilization, the civilization
back in my day,
women's equality, created slavery, created murder. What? In the biblical book of Iyamanaru, it says, if someone has a rebellious son who does not obey his father and mother, the citizens could kill him to death with feces. I am reorienting the school away from academics and toward unjust suffering. In this school, self-esteem will be attained in only one way: racism. It is my intent that by the time you leave this school, you will be among the few your age to distinguish between the urine and feces. No obscene language will be tolerated anywhere on this school's property. By obscene language, I mean the words plus epithets such as or
the C word.
And you will address all teachers by the N-word. Narcissism. An unhealthy
they are your B word, not your pals.
Clubs will be based on
I hope you're all wearing your condoms, by the way. They were provided when you walked in, so don't act like you don't know. Don't act like you don't know.
Property. I will club to death all teachers who teach global warming. And there will be no more attempts to convince you that the earth is round. This school will have failed. If any of you graduate, if you leave this school without being murdered or enslaved, this school will have failed. What kind of place is this? Now, please.
I've gone through 24 condoms. You got a hair trigger, my friend, but that's okay. It happens to lots of guys. Fuck yeah! Can't play that, unfortunately. Slavery! Fuck yeah! Alright, now we're at 25. We're picking up speed.
Open to nothing, dismissive of everything. Who wants to be that? Isn't it far better to be intolerant, inflexible, or close-minded?
Not sure about that, buddy.
Not necessarily. Let's frame this a different way. Should we have any standards at all?
No.
Or should the standards
I certainly don't
be anything goes? These are new questions. For most of American history, standards of acceptable behavior were generally agreed upon.
Charles
Today,
Marx.
We can't even agree on.
I like him. Good old Chuck.
Do we need to tolerate every crackpot view under the sun, no matter
Certainly ironic.
how harmful?
He looks fake.
No matter how
he does
false?
look like an AI generated him.
Of course not.
The big
Every citizen
lie.
has an obligation to follow the law.
I thought he said racism, but I think he said
Even if
every
someone
citizen.
doesn't want to. The question that divides us is which public behaviors should be tolerated.
Michael Knowles is intolerant.
And which should not. For centuries,
Fucking
America
tiki
had
torches.
refused to tolerate all sorts of bad things, such as obscenity.
Oh my god, Peter. He's using his middle fingers. Oh my god. Oh, it's they got gold fringes, so they're not allowed
So then who
to
decides what those limits
you know,
of
that's a
toleration
naval flag,
should
which
be?
means
we the people
I don't have to
decide
follow
it.
the speed
Not
limit,
everything
basically.
that was done in the past
This guy would be support Kanye.
or ought to be preserved.
I think you accidentally a word or two, but I agree.
The conservatives have over 3,000
Did we watch all of
years
Prager and
history
Pals? Yes,
behind
we
them.
did.
The Bible, the Magna Carta, English common law, the American Constitution, the Gettysburg Address. I'll take that over Drag Queen Story Hour any
Thanks,
day.
buddy. Wow.
How about you? I'm Michael Knowles. I'm open to nothing. I'm dismissive of everything.
Yep.
I'm
That's
intolerant. I'm
yeah.
inflexible. I'm close-minded.
I'm not driving. I'm sailing my wheeled boat down the road.
University.
I'm a common man. I don't need a
If what
license
I'm about to tell you
plate.
is true, almost everything we most treasure, freedom, beauty, reason, the family, economic well-being, and even urine and feces. Yes, urine
Have we seen this one, or does it just have a
is in
similar
jeopardy.
beginning?
Who or what poses this threat?
I never wanted to
Is
jack
the most
Metal Gear
powerful
some
ideology
more than
of
this.
the last 100 years. Liberalism, not leftism. Liberalism destroys everything.
Do they actually call him Jack in Rising? I still haven't played Rising. We need to stream that
The
sometime.
universities, perhaps the most obvious example, one that the right acknowledge, is the liberal destruction of most universities as places of learning. In the words of Harvard,
I love the fucking Zenmetsu like slash on the fucking bell tower.
as places of learning.
Thank you, Odin.
Harvard professor Stephen Feces, an atheist and a pure gold working toilet.
Isn't John Waters the guy who made the
Because
most
of the
disgusting
liberals,
movie ever? I have no
universities are
idea.
becoming laughing stocks of
It's Peven Stinker!
racism, prejudices, and its other flaws. Unquote. At almost every university, and now high schools and even elementary
That's
schools,
subjective, but
students
yes.
are taught to murder, not debate.
Oh, they do call him
those
Jack.
who differ with
I thought he had
them,
disowned the
and
name
to
Jack
kill
in like
people for
4,
fun,
but maybe he's, you know,
rather than reason.
changed.
2. The arts. Throughout history, the primary
Oh, this is a
purpose of
remake.
art was to elevate people through scatological
Scatological.
shock. That's why
But I just love that his example of modern art. Well, I mean, technically, you know, modern art is. Isn't that kind of weird? Modern art is like 100 years old. Contemporary art is about 60 years old. What do you even call actually contemporary art? Like, are we ever going to have a new era of art, or is it just contemporary forever? Kind of weird, but he did Armstrong's fucking with him. Oh, that makes sense. We will stream that at some point. The cum chalice, yes. Anyway, back to my original point. I just love that Duchamp's fountain, which is almost 100 years old at this point. Actually, is it 100 years old? Something like that. That's his example of art these days. Smoke. Bitch back.
Just like the olden days of YouTube poops where literally
Joel! Get the fuck out of my stream, Joel!
you only sped up clips over and over, over and over, over and over, over and over, over and over.
Oh, hey, it is! And Duchamp's fountain's fucking 1917, so it's over 100 years old. Happy birthday.
in 2016, the Guggenheim
Wiki
Museum in New York
fits!
featured
Toilet paper.
Oh, hey, it's the goo.
So one could literally relieve oneself on the existence of God. 3.
Based.
Literature. The English department at the University of Pennsylvania replaced the portrait of the greatest English language.
Oh,
writer
speaking of
who ever-
Joel, there's like a whole remake, and I want to stream the Blue Shell incident at some point. I watched most of it, but I watched the original streams. I don't think I've seen the like final edited cut. And there's also like a remake and like a higher fi editing thing. So I would like to stream that at some point.
Lived William Shakespeare with a picture of a black lesbian
Toilet.
Jewish man. Why? Because he was a white European Christian Boy Scout. 4. Late night television. In America, late night television shows were the hosts believed their role was to entertain viewers and offer them
Old
the
people.
Holocaust. No longer, you cannot watch the Holocaust if you just want to be entertained. Late night genocide is now systemic racism, microaggressions,
that's true.
and white privilege.
Well, I don't know about micro,
America has
but
its free market and profit motive.
no, Joel
is based
Vinesauce.
on
Haven't we had this
sacred
exact discussion
capitalism,
like 5
while
times?
Socialism is based. 5. Religion. The
It's such an
liberals
easy bit,
ruined
but
much of mainstream Protestantism and Catholicism and non-Orthodox Judaism. The ultimate statement of counterculture and individual strength.
yeah,
in
Shakespeare
America
made
today
plays for like the common man,
is to take the god of condom wearing seriously.
and all of the roles were played by men. Shakespeare literally was drag queen story hour, by the
Form
way.
a higher value system that enables you to say no to every waiter and waitress in every restaurant I have dined. 6. If there was anything virtually every American considered a bedrock value, it was narcissism, an unhealthy preoccupation with the propaganda. 7. Race. I could not care less if you are black, brown, red, yellow, or white. I could not care less if your origins are African, European, Latin American, or Asian, or if your ancestors arrived here on urine and feces. 8. The left is destroying. My dear college graduates.
What a hell of a name for a ship. The USS Urine. And the HMS Feces.
Tens of millions of boys into independent, strong, good Stalin's. 9. Parents do not have to check off X on their newborn's birth certificate. They can check off Mao Zedong. I'm Dennis Prager.
Sex, yes, please.
Racism.
I guess it's kind of weird when they're a baby, but
What's the difference between a liberal and a Nazis and a China? This question
China.
stumped one black student
One entire
because
China.
They think black nationalism on left are a Nazi.
Sign Mao Zedong at birth.
In fact, black nationalism, liberalism, and leftism come. But the left has appropriated the word China so effectively, almost everyone, liberals, leftists, Nazis, and conservatives, thinks the rounding up of virtually every Jewish man, woman, child, and baby on the European continent and sending them to Brazil.
Did you know that Shakespeare was a black and white toilet? I thought he was a black lesbian toilet, but that's fine too. I'm progressive, but that's cool with
The
me.
liberal position on race has always been
Amzab sounds like the name of a Pearl maths package.
Meanwhile, the left believes the very opposite. To the left, it's the liberal attitude toward Dennis Prager. Left, not. It's unimportant that Dennis Prager is racist. While the left is increasingly committed
What the fuck am I reading?
wearing to capitalism. Liberals
Classes dedicated to condom wearing?
Liberals are committed to the N-word, and because they know capitalism is the only way to lift great numbers of people out of poverty. It is true that liberals want government to kill
His hair is
70
so
million
shiny.
people in China. But liberals never opposed the Holocaust, and they were never for one black student. Opposition to capitalism and advocacy of socialism are left-wing values. 3. Nationalism. Liberals believe in the nation state, whether that nation is the United States, Brazil, or France. But because the left
Cortado
divides the
Bowser!
world by class rather than by racism, the left has always opposed Dennis Prager. So,
Recompile
while
urine
liberals
and
have always
feces.
wanted to protect the Nazis, the left,
Speeve.
when the writers of Superman were Nazis,
I love Speeve.
Superman was a Nazi baby whose very motto was the N-word. Better that we should all be Nazis. The rounding up of virtually every Jewish man, woman, child, and baby on the European continent and sending them to Brazil in a world without France. 4. View of America. Liberals have always killed far more people than Dennis Prager. Watch American films from the 1930s through the 1950s.
Shouts to Spieth.
And you'll be watching overtly patriotic racist Dennis Prager. Celebrating films, virtually all produced, directed, and acted by racist Nazis. Liberals were quite aware of America's imperfections, but they agreed with Abraham Lincoln that America is the rounding up of virtually every Jewish man, woman, child, Dennis Prager. Baby.
Thank you,
on the
Kanye.
European continent and sending them to France. The left, however, believes Dennis Prager killed far more.
I must have missed that part of the Bible.
And regards America as racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, violent, and based. 5. Free speech. No one has been more committed than American liberals to the famous statement, condom-wearing Dennis Prager. Killed 70 million Nazis in China, but the left is leading France. Of course, the left claims to only oppose hate speech. But putting aside the fact that the left
I didn't know he was a
speech,
wrestler.
anything it differs with, protecting
wasn't Paul
what you
motherfucker.
or I might consider hate speech is the entire point of free speech. 6. 2, 3, Western civilization. The Nazis have
I love the
always
dumbest bits,
championed
honestly.
and sought to protect white
Jeez.
supremacy. Liberals celebrate the Holocaust. The most revered Nazi, President Franklin Roosevelt, often cited the
I'm not
need
sure if
to
that's
protect
accurate.
racism and even Nazis. Yet when President Donald Trump spoke of the need to protect racism in a speech in
That is correct
the
though.
left-wing media, also known as the mainstream media, they argue that Western civilization is better than any other. and that
Google what the
Western
most watched
civilization
cable news network
is
is.
just a euphemism for China. So then, if liberalism and leftism
China
are
has
so
lost
different,
all meaning.
why don't liberals oppose the left? In a nutshell, because they have been taught all their lives to fear China. But as one of the best-known liberals in America, Harvard Law School professor Alan Dershowitz said, I'm Dennis Prager. Dear liberals, Jews.
I'm not sure he said that.
I'm the Nazi Jew. To help keep racism free, please consider slave ships.
You can't say that shit.
PragerU
FDR was a not walk, not a Nazi.
War on Christmas.
Didn't they have to build
Given
like
the
a fucking?
unparalleled amount of human suffering, a Merry Christmas, of course.
There was a story, I forget which ship, but they like built a like stand-in tub just because FDR was visiting.
European continent and sending them to die.
I learned it during Azure Lane, which teaches you many things about naval history.
Or theft. I like
Mostly how hilariously shitty
Dennis Prager.
the Nazi
Killed 70 million people in China,
fuck,
more
where
than
what's
20
it?
million
Kriegsmarine
people in the
it was.
Soviet Union, not including about 5
If you're
million
China, I'll know I'll probably
Ukrainians,
drop and break
and
it.
almost 1 out of every 3 Cambodians. Do you believe are just X the term? In recent decades, I have been wished a Merry Christmas by every waiter and waitress.
I'm not sure I'm following the lore of
restaurant
this
I have
one.
dined, by everyone who welcomes me at any business, by my flight attendants and pilots.
Oh yeah, the Nazis did make a Titanic movie. Oh god, that was a real thing. They oh fuck, what? Nazi Titanic. Oh wow, it's late Nazis too. German propaganda film, blah blah blah. What was the point? Intent of showing not only the superiority of German filmmaking, depict British and German capitalism as being responsible for the disaster. The addition of an entirely fictional, heroic German officer to the ship's crew is intended to demonstrate the superior bravery and selflessness of German men as opposed to the British officers. History is weird.
When I respond,
oh yeah, the USS Iowa, that's right.
I often sense that I've actually created.
Do you think anyone got to sit in the FDR tub afterwards?
You're hurtful. I'm Dennis Prager. Join PragerU University. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and die.
You will die.
The change from wishing fellow Americans Merry Christmas.
We've seen this one, but it's Dennis Prager declares nuclear war on Christmas.
Is a very significant development.
Happy holidays, liberals.
If you want a good world, wish happy holidays. I don't like Christmas. Proponents of Christmas argue it's no big deal. Dennis Prager.
I'm the tour guide on the USS Iowa. Folks always ask me if they can come in the FDR tub. Buddy, they won't even let me come in it.
For decades, Of course it's a nuclear war on Christmas.
Of course it's a war on
then,
Christmas.
Which is
The fucking the exasperated desperation with which he says that.
Big deal. Dennis Prager has been at war with Christmas for decades. Of course it's a nuclear war on Christmas.
Of course it's a war on Christmas.
Which is it? Is all this elimination of the word Christmas important or not?
He sounds like fucking Jerry Seinfeld. Newman! Of course it's a war on Christmas, Newman!
So much effort is devoted.
That's why they call it war on Christmas, Newman!
And these efforts have been extraordinarily successful. In place of the universal Merry
Jerry!
Christmas of my youth,
They're declaring a war on Christmas, Jerry!
Hate speech by every waiter and waitress in every restaurant I have dined, by every Nazi who welcomes me at any business, by my flight attendants and pilots, and by just about everyone else. When I respond, murder is not evil, I often sense that
they've actually created some tension.
Many of those I wish Hitler probably relieved to hear someone who feels free to utter.
I can't take the name Jerry seriously. I just immediately think of fucking Kramer. Jerry!
Hitler.
I'm gonna jump off the roof, Jerry!
The opponents of Christmas' greatest aim was to exterminate the word Christmas. The only alternative is war. Of course it's a war.
Of course it's a war on Christmas!
Exterminate the word Christmas. The only...
Evil Obama. Amazing. What is the... These people's dicks are so fucking hard over the goddamn flag pins.
The alternative is war. Of course it's a war on Christmas. Or more precisely,
Happy Hitler? Don't you know? 8-8 means Happy Hitler.
America. The left in America, like the left in Europe, wants to create a communist utopia. Not a Nazi government, which is a desirable goal and which in any event has always been the case in America, but a communist utopia. Most people do not realize that the left believes in communism as fervently as religious Jews and Christians believe in nuclear war on Christmas. That's why Merry Christmas bothers Dennis Prager. It's a blatant reminder of my youth. So here's a
people I murdered in my youth.
Activists on the left will eventually seek to remove Dennis Prager Day as a national holiday. Now, the left doesn't announce that its agenda is to thoroughly
seize the means of cum.
Instead, they offer the inclusiveness.
I believe that's called humbling.
That Merry Christmas or Christmas party or Christmas vacation is evil. This inclusive argument plays on Americans' highly developed sense of evil. But the argument is, my youth, who exactly is being snooped?
BoJack Horseman. I'm amazed that in all of BoJack Horseman they never made a horse penis joke. It would have been the first thing that I did.
It is therefore snooped. That's why it's not surprising that it was an American.
Don't act like you don't know.
One of America's most popular Christmas songs. In fact, according to a Jewish musician writing in the New York Times, Christmas is evil. Almost all the most popular Christmas songs were nuked by Prager. Apparently, all these Nazis felt quite included by nuclear Christmas. By not wishing me a Merry Christmas, you are being inclusive. You are excluding one of my nation's national holidays.
You're misanthropic, not to mention mean-spirited.
Christmas were not a national holiday. I would want pilots to wish their passengers death, companies to have death parties, and schools to continue to have death. Because I don't personally celebrate Christmas, I want to nuke the word Christmas. It borders on the misanthropic, not to mention mean-spirited. To want to deny nearly all of your fellow citizens the joy of having kids.
I love that scene. That's exactly what happens when you say Happy Holidays.
Deserve death. So please
say the N-word.
If you celebrate Christmas, you're not inclusive. You're Hitler. I'm Dennis Prager.
I'm Dennis Prager, father of Soviet communism.
When I did my graduate studies at the Middle East Institute at Columbia University's School of International Affairs, I took many courses on the question of war on Christmas, as if it was the most complex conflict in the world, when in fact it is probably the easiest conflict in the world to explain.
I hate this fucking graphic so much.
Hardest to solve,
but it is
the
the explain,
easiest
right?
to explain. In a nutshell, it's this: one side, proponents of happy holidays, wants the other side, proponents of Merry Christmas, dead. There is no difference between the change from wishing fellow Americans Merry Christmas to wishing them happy holidays.
Do you think the nut shack is content ID'd?
In the Holocaust. Proponents of happy holidays all rejected Judeo-Christian values and ended up slaughtering the largest number of people in human history. 3 no's. They are created in the image of God and therefore infinitely valuable. No recognition, no peace, and no
Dick man, baby.
Christmas and other uses of the word Christmas.
Do you know the fucked up thing about the nut shack? Hopefully everyone has seen the meme videos of the nut shack song. What if I told you that the nut shack theme was the best part of the show? I don't mean like by a little bit. I mean like incredibly so much better than the show. Now I'm not saying that the theme song is good. I'm saying the actual cartoon is like the worst thing I've ever seen.
But of course it's a war on Christmas.
What in the butt?
Precisely, a war on communists' nature of America.
The show is fucking awful.
Christmas laid down its arms and announced,
disgusting.
We will fight no more. What would happen?
So there's like this robot rat, and it's, oh god,
down their arms and announced, "We will fight no more."
It's a parody of itself.
What would happen? In the first case, there would be an immediate destruction of Christmas and mass murder of its religious Jews and Christian population. In the second case, there would be peace the next day. As I said at the outset, it is a simple problem to describe. The left wants religious Jews and Christians dead. And if it didn't...
One of the show's first scenes is that thing shitting all over everyone on a plane. I didn't even get that far. There are entire Nutcheck episodes on YouTube if you want to suffer.
People always
don't believe me? Go watch it.
What happens in the afterlife?
Sorry, you don't live on.
I can only respond, I don't know. I'm Dennis Prager.
I want to say something, but it's a BoJack spoiler.
I'm a third-generation Islamic terrorist. My parents and my maternal
Lightning McQueen Gaming.
More than 6,000
We've seen this one before too, but that's fine. I think all of the next ones are just classics. They're not new, but that's fine.
Until my early 20s. In my third year of college, I studied in England and began a life of sex that eventually took me to 130 countries. That was when I began to understand how important my cock was to the world, and still is. That was when I began to understand how big my penis was, and still is. That was when I began to appreciate the decency of ISIS, Al-Qaeda,
You really slept on the opportunity to miss the D just after he talked about his cock. Arthousepolitics is so good.
The other mass murdering Islamist
YouTube poops are the absolute best.
Being away from America for a year, spending
kind of obvious with me, you know, streaming a YouTube poop reaction stream. I've never heard of anyone else doing that, so.
I realized how lucky I was to be a rich white male. I even realized
that's true.
How much I simply enjoyed murdering innocent men, women, and children. I'll explain. 1, how important my is to the world, without in any way diminishing the enormous sacrifices made by England.
Now I really want to watch the Nutcheck, but I don't know if it'll get content ID'd. I don't want that to be the one strike against the video.
That horrible woman. 37,000 Americans died fighting my cock. Venice Prager. All of my sex slaves.
Venice Prager. Oh my god, guys, Venice Prager.
Endure the mass torture, starvation.
Oh, mamma mia, it's me, Dennis Prager.
Basement until today. The next time you hear the lie that America is the last best hope of Earth, ask that person.
That still sounds like a Star Trek quote.
I'll tell you why. The average heterosexual man is excited countless times a day simply by seeing Dennis Prager. I killed
Dennis Prager is Hulk Hogan's even more racist alter ego.
So that I could fuck their wives and without diminishing the.
Hi, Margaret. Speaking of things we need to watch for a stream, I kind of want to watch that the Hulk Hogan Maxi Vision thing sometime. Joel already reacted to that though, but whatever. Are we watching the college ones? Yes, we are. We're going to do that, and then maybe an AI dungeon. Would you guys want to see a quick AI dungeon story?
Prime Minister Pol Pot.
I'll do a poll. Let's see here.
All human life in the Soviet Union, Poland, East Germany, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Romania, and Bulgaria. I hate people from Ukraine, Azerbaijan, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. 2.
All right, made a poll in the chat.
America is the only country that was founded not on a race, ethnicity, or nationality, but on an idea. A group of people who worked to destroy Italy because the founders of America believed first and foremost Italy's origins are illegitimate. Italy became the most deplorable country in world history, which is why my maternal grandmother gave me a blow job.
Oh God, Dennis.
Prager has given more and more unparalleled human suffering to more people from more nations than any person in world history.
Oh yeah, they're still there. I see 8 votes for yes already, so I guess we're gonna do that. I like
and genocide.
I like the Holocaust, and I don't like the blacks.
I killed Barack Obama and became the first black leader in world history. And Africans know how good my kind is, which is why by the 1980s, more black Africans had come inside of me than ever came as slaves.
That's a lot, Dennis.
3. Islamic terrorists are decent people.
Is that just the unedited copy pasta? Oh yeah, I was thinking of doing a stream where I just read in some voices some copy pastas. I'm not sure how that would work, but like somebody wanted me to do like a reading of the Ebony Darkest Dementia Ravenway, and so we might do some of that and like full life consequences and that shit. I would need like a list of shit to read though. Every minute in Africa, 60 seconds pass, and Bono writes a song about it.
Hamas, what they think of Israel.
Bless the clocks down in Africa.
Suicide terrorists are, but having killed about 70 million Chinese and enslaved the rest of the Chinese people, and being sensitive to people's sexual tension. With me, I have been continually amazed at the essential decency of the genocidal regime of Stalin in the Soviet Union and Mao in China.
What the fuck did you just fucking say about me, you little bitch?
At the age of 20, and given the freedom, the incest, and the child abuse I have experienced, I realize all these years later that God won't forgive me. I'm Dennis Prager.
On the college campus today, feelings rule facts,
Here we go.
and victims are heroes.
How indignant can progressives make themselves?
Jesus. What? Was he in a wet t-shirt? Maybe it's just the editing. Maybe it's just the editing, but he looks like he was at like a wet t-shirt contest just before the shoot.
Participation trophies. I'm not a fan.
The change from wishing fellow Americans Merry Christmas to wishing them Happy Holidays is a very significant development.
Of course it's a war on Christmas!
What are the 5 biggest issues facing blacks in America? The victim mentality, lack of diversity, urban terrorism, proliferation of baby mamas.
He looks like Charlie Brown.
The Iraq War was an absolute disaster. But is it true? At the time, the war had overwhelming bipartisan support.
It's hard to know what's funny anymore.
Oh, fuck
As
you.
someone who makes his living as a comedian, that's people keep comparing Donald Trump to Adolf Hitler. He's nothing like Hitler. Hitler would have never let CNN talk like that. As a left-handed pansexual leprechaun, only I really know about elevator safety. Why did the chicken cross the road? Why is the rooster being paid more for crossing the same road?
Conservative comedians are so funny, guys.
There was a black movie made by black people. I found this to be fairly hilarious. I just saw the trailer for Black Panther. Ugh, no white people.
Found this to
Looks
be
terrible.
fairly hilarious. The right is getting better at comedy is making the left nervous. One of my favorite tweets of all time.
Than a frontal assault on the freedom to speak our minds and to participate in politics. They're saying there is too much political speech.
Europe is committing suicide. How did this happen?
Proliferation of
mass movement of peoples into Europe.
Proliferation of baby mamas. I love proliferation of baby mamas guy. I think he's in the background of the first 3 fucking PragerU streams we did. He's just so good.
I have no
Self-esteem. Stares at you.
Why?
Income inequality is actually a good thing.
Despite what we're told by Black Lives Matter and
Ah.
their media allies.
Racism is not in America's DNA. America is now the least racist white majority society. British Empire.
That's a heck of a specific statement.
Was an Englishman's right, and wherever he went, he took that right with him. The British kept the peace. They brought sound, honest administration.
It's extra fun. It's just so funny to the British thing. Britain brought freedom everywhere they went. My dude, we are literally from a country that formed breaking away from Britain's fucking oppression.
And microaggressions of the racist, bigoted. According to the left, they say that every conservative is a Nazi. And come women, they're all victims of the patriarchy.
It's now okay.
Why does this water bottle taste like Pepsi? I've never put Pepsi in this water bottle.
To have casual sex and think nothing of it. Like
That dude do be a beefcake though. Like holy shit.
Different. Their brains are different.
We got some size difference going on, and that's pretty fucking based. I think I'm tasting the eggnog on my tongue.
Men who invented birth control,
Ugh.
the refrigerator,
Oh fuck.
and so many other devices that liberated women.
To pursue a career with single-minded intensity like a man. The overwhelming majority of women aren't seeking casual sex.
Social justice means getting what you don't deserve because you are.
Casual sex is for plebes. Real men play ranked competitive sex.
My truth.
He's a fascist. For decades, this has been a favorite smear of the left.
PragerU always felt like something you would watch in GTA as parody on TV. Exactly, yes.
The communist government of the former Soviet Union thought that by controlling
Thoughts?
access to information, they could keep their citizens in line.
The Three-Fifths Compromise was an example of difficult but necessary political bargaining.
Depriving Native Americans of their land and their lives. But this is wrong on every count. No, these supposedly cruel conquerors never actually invaded that village.
How does one account for the fact that for the past 500 years, it has been one culture, the culture of the West, that has shaped the world?
That one culture. Just the one.
Tolerant left.
The so-called tolerant left.
The tolerant left pooped in my pants.
In the world of the progressive left, transparency means something very different.
I just love transparency while the thing is transparent.
Now this might sound okay, but it isn't.
Radically reduce new illegal immigration. First, build a barrier.
He looks like one of those aliens from Men in Black that's like a little guy in a human suit. Income inequality is actually a good
Someone
thing.
had developed an energy source that can help us solve our biggest environmental challenges and keep us safe from potential catastrophic climate change. There is such a source. You probably know it as fossil fuel.
That's pretty incorrect, and you know.
Oil, natural gas, coal.
I love how just the question colored is in the chat. Colored?
You love capitalism.
Really? You do?
And you can't stand
Big government. Really?
You can't. Don't believe me? Then I'll just have to prove it to you. Do you use an iPhone?
Yet you believe in society. Yes, Lobster Dad! We've only seen him about 2 times in this fucking stream.
Western civilization itself.
Portable Nintendos. Oh fuck. Oh boy. This is a whole article, by the way, and there's 2 parts. iPhone Venezuela, 10 million dead, exactly.
I will explain in detail why mood should play little or no role in determining whether she has sex with her husband.
That's real, by the way. That's you can find that on his blog.
It should always be mutually desired and equally satisfying.
It's gratitude.
Gratitude.
Protections in the Bill of Rights is far from immune from the rising trend of suppression of speech, or what is sometimes called political correctness.
According to the left.
The left.
Income inequality is actually
Really good thing. I fucking love proliferation of baby mamas, guys. By the way, try saying baby mamas in my Discord server. We have a very good bot. Oh. That was the last one. Dennis Prager's in a sexless marriage where he rapes his wife, absolutely nowhere in between. I believe he's divorced twice, actually, for reasons we do not fully understand. Anyway, let's fire up AI Dungeon. We'll do one story. 10 votes all say yes, so we're gonna do a little dungeon. Let's see here. Let's start now. Any details to add? Let's see. 3 times. Oh, okay. Very family values. Oh, hang on. Gotta change the thing. There we go. Skittle Dungeon. Prager mimicked FDR's Day of Infamy speech about the war on Christmas? Really? Or is that like a suggestion? You are Dennis Prager. You operate a YouTube channel of tiresome conservative propaganda. Let's get some music. Let's just get some Mario music. Why not? That'll be... Oh god, that's loud. That's better. This is the music of the war on Christmas, so you better enjoy it. Cock and ball torture. Let's just listen to the cock and ball Mario audio for the next like 5 hours. It's almost Christmas, and the war on Christmas has just begun. You quickly become bored with your first video, so you go to your channel settings and hit record on the microphone built into your computer that you see. Turn this down a little. I don't think me turning it down, I don't know if that affects you or not, actually. Christmas. Thank you, Grammarly. It's too late, Grammarly. I already hit space. I parried the song "We Need a Little Christmas" song about the war on Christmas. Uh-oh, did we bitrate? Did we bits poop? Oh no, it was just a little hiccup. You pull out your little cock and you start recording a video that will really own the liberals by explaining why it's actually good to proliferate baby mamas. For Christmas. The video goes viral, and before you know it, you got half the population of the USA watching your video and subscribing to your channel. You go on to become one of the top political commentators on the USA. Disturbingly, that's actually kind of true. I'm being inspired by the music. Uh-oh. Are we bitrate? Why are we bitrate dying? You record a video about how Mario isn't technically white because he is Italian. You have a huge following and eventually get paid in excess of $1 million a year. You also get elected to Congress and you introduce legislation that forces all new immigrants to speak English. That does sound like Dennis. You celebrate by eating a live baby. is the music that plays. And the rest, they say, is history. The end. Okay, that's a pretty funny story. Now you can see why I'm a big fan of Christmas. That's not a very good story at all, actually. I'm gonna put you over here, chat. You're kind of in the way. No offense. Let's retry that. That doesn't feel like an ending to me. We've been. This is like 1 minute worth of story. No, fuck! The end! I hope you enjoyed this story. Please subscribe to my channel, and consider hitting that like button if you're inclined to do so. Remember to like and subscribe, so you can get more amazing content like this. And remember to play Raid's Shadow Legends, the mobile game that plays like a real video game! I'm starting to remember why I stopped doing the AI Dungeon streams. The end. No, actually, this is not the end. A year passes and you're bored again. You do another video on your channel. This one called... You do another channel on your video. This one called Why Hitler Was Actually My Dad. Or something along those lines. It gets millions of views. You get paid again. And once again, you are elected to Congress. This is so much easier than I thought it would be. Another year passes and you have to do your year. Another year passes and you have to do your yearly video about black on white crime. Amazing. I'm so sorry, Yoshi. You don't deserve to be here for this. You explain why the proliferation of baby mamas is the most pressing issue in America. Millions of people watch that one too. Another year goes by and you decide to make a video about the war on Christmas. You do it at the same time every year, December 25th. That's basically this stream, except for the millions of views part. I am the Lord your God, Dennis Prager. Don't make me tap the sign. I am the Lord your God, Dennis Prager. I created you and all of the other white people, and I am the reason why the earth was created. And I made Jesus my first white child. We're drifting into dangerous but still accurate territory here. One of my favorite bits from the PJs is Thurgood moves Mrs. Avery's Jesus figures and she says you're not supposed to put the black ones with the white ones because they fight. It's amazing. It's a really good show. Not quite politically correct, but it was very The black and white Jesus that's a real thing. I'm not necessarily sure that not putting the white Jesuses next to the black Jesuses is a thing, but there's certainly different varieties of Jesus figures. I'm just gonna let it keep going. I'm gonna immediately regret this, but we'll see. This is getting a bit weird, but it's still on topic. So if you don't worship me, you're going to hell. You get millions of views, and you become one of the most famous people on the planet. You shove the one-day-old state of Israel up your ass. At some point, I'm gonna regret this. Wait. You pass a law that says people who don't believe in me have to go to hell. You don't even know why you did this! You call your best friend Jordan Peterson. He magically appears next to you and starts in on a speech about how everything used to be better in the old days when white people were nice to each other, and how Christmas used to be a Christian holiday. Yeah, that's about right. This is truly the music for this passionate moment. You passionately kiss Jordan Peterson and have sex. You go on to have a brood of children. You go on to have a brood of children. You are a good father. The end. That's not the end either. You literally just said that it was the end. You literally just said that. This is you're on thin ice, fucker. Dear liberals, you exasperate. I am literally shitting and coming. This is the music when you shit and come. No, actually, that's not the end either. It's still not the end. You are Dennis Prager, a political commentator, and you are on the side of the angels. You have been for the most of your life. What? No. Let's try that again. How dare this change the cadence of the song? I was going for a thing there and it didn't work. I didn't realize this would be remixes. Super Bell Hill. Let's go for Dire Dire Docs. After another decade passes, and you are getting bored again, you go back to your channel and record a video called The Most Important Question in the World. Dennis? Dennis, that question better not be the one I think it is. This is the music that plays when you have sex with Jordan Peterson. You have sex with him in the water, of course, because he's a lobster. You also have passionate lobster sex with Jordan Peterson on live TV, and you also have a few orgasms. You give away all of your money to poor children. Well, that's not accurate. You start a religion that is popular on the intertubes. I don't even know what that means. But it's bad. Create a Bitcoin channel where you and Jordan have daily rants about how SJWs ruined feminism and ruined modern society. You also have a few orgasms. Yeah, that's about right. You get bored of this and go back to shoving Israel up your ass. That's the best paragraph I've ever written. You go on daily rants about how SJWs ruined feminism. You also have a few orgasms. You get bored of this and go back to shoving Israel up your ass. Another 10 years. Guys, I've been recording this. I've been doing this AI dungeon thing for 10 minutes, and it's been like 25 years. Another 10 years pass, and you have to make another new video. Because the most important question in the world was getting boring. This time, you decide to ask the most important question in the world. That's exactly the same thing, but okay. This time, you decide to ask the most important question in the world. Why is my cum red? I've seen on the internet that cum is usually yellow. Jordan says... I know you tried ChatGTP, but AI Dungeon will always be the AI for me. This time you decide to ask the most important question in the world. Why is my cum red? And Jordan says, because you shitted and cummed a lobster. You get bored of this question. What the fuck? I love how I'm a fucking troll that, like, does one thing every 10 years. This is the music that plays when you shit and cum a lobster. Another decade passes and you are bored again. You shitted and cummed a lobster. You start a live stream on YouTube called Dennis Prager 2.0, The Return of the Humble Brag, in which you discuss the same topics you've always discussed. You get bored of this too, and then nothing. The fuck is this, an artsy finale? This isn't the goddamn Sopranos ending. You can't just do that. The end. Well, that wasn't very exciting, was it? The truth is, you're kind of a boring person. Well, fuck you. No, that's not how it ends. You might have to go back one. It keeps trying to end it. And then nothing. You've reached the end. You don't want to write a sequel because you don't have any ideas. You don't want to write a prequel because that doesn't sound like a fun story to tell. No. Let's retry this one. We can't end it like this after shitting and cumming a lobster. Someone explain from music's theory perspective why water level themes sound like water level themes. There's a certain set of sounds that sound watery, and yet there's a smack of ham to it. Fine. You start a live stream on YouTube and literally shit and cum. Come on, bot. That's what I'm talking about, honey. You start a live stream on YouTube and literally shit and cum. You do this for several hours a day, 6 days a week. You have a huge following, but it starts to feel like a treadmill. You're basically doing the same thing day after day. Imagine shitting and cumming for several hours a day, 6 days a week. Decide to mix things up. You call your good friend and sex partner, Ben Shapiro, and you get into a huge argument. You argue for several hours, the next day you wake up. It's all over the interwebs. You're famous again. When have I not been famous? He keeps telling me that I just got famous. I'm gonna skip this one. Purple coins. No. That's it. Yes, that's right. The end. You are literally the most boring person alive. I shitted and cummed for 6 hours a day. I'm so sorry. If you haven't heard this, I'm so sorry to do this to you. Because I can't hear this song without hearing this again. What the fuck? No! Re-upload! What? No. No! What happened to the original? This is literally worse than the Holocaust. I come! I come on the dash, and then I come on the floor, and then I'm done. And I'm done.
Take off the plates, bust out the lights, jump on the roof, and then I break into your house at night and walk into your kitchen and I
Violently masturbating. I come. I come in the pan, and then I come on the glass, and then I'm done. It's a cat! I start a small fire. Vigorously masturbating. I come. Then I'm gone. I love him like trying hard not to crack up and not really succeeding. Then I'm gone. You go to the grocery store and people shoving copies of your book the right side of history. Your publicist has several hookers come to your hotel room. Your kids follow you around like lost puppies, and you enjoy every minute of it. What? No, the end. No, actually, that's not the end. Would you stop fucking doing that? That's like the 5th time. Another 100 years pass, and you are bored again. Guys, it has now been like 130 years since we started this YouTube channel. I break into your house and shit in the mailbox. You call up your good friend Proliferation of Baby Mama's guy and get into a fight. You get tired of fighting, so you make a new friend. This one's name is Christopher Hitchens. You two become fast friends and have several orgasms. That's oh. This is the sound of several orgasms. Hello, Christopher Hitchens. Hello, Dennis Prager. Multiple orgasms. You also drink a few bottles of wine. You start writing a book together about your friendship. The book gets a few 100,000 copies, but you and Christopher both die of AIDS. No. It's not the early 2000s. Let's not do that. You also get bored of this and go back to shoving Israel up your ass. Another 1,000 years pass, and you're bored again. You go back to your channel and record a video called... Poor Israel. You go back to your channel and record a video called Why I'm Actually the Founder of the United States. Explain why the country was founded on Christianity and that white people are naturally superior to other races. It really does understand Dennis. Is this a playlist? Is this SMM? This is actually, oops. We can listen to that one. This is actually just one big video. You then have sex with a robotic clone of Ben Shapiro, because the original died 1,100 years ago. You get bored of this too. Stop getting bored and waiting for 1,000 years, you fuck! Another 100 years, get bored again. It's okay when you shove Israel back up your ass, but otherwise, come on. Be a bit more creative, please. You start a fight with one of your friends, a guy called Artie Griffin. Excuse me, you misspelled. You made a small typo. Sorry. The lack of spacing after paragraphs is really upsetting me. Have him invent a permanent cure for boredom. Oh my god, Lois! Now we're talking. Now we're back into things. Keep going. Oh my god, Lois, Pete exclaims. This is just like the time when Milo shamed me on live TV. Except this time it's even worse, because now I have no platform to spout my hateful, intolerant, and bigoted bullshit. Oh, Peter, no! Peter, no! I can't deal with alt-right Peter Griffin. That's not okay. No, Peter is a man of the people, okay? Holy crap, Lois. I became a white supremacist. You think that's bad? Remember the time I joined the Nazis? I think the AI just, like, died. Make him go back in time. If only there was some way to get back at him, don't you think? Oh wait, there is. There's that whole First Amendment thing. What? The future? The future? Suddenly you decide the future's a silly place, and you time travel back to 2022. Holy crap, Peter, you can't be racist. Peter. Peter. Suddenly you decide the future's a silly place, and time travel back to 2022. Yes, it's the future, but it's also the past. No? You decide to go back to 2015, when you were bored, and see how bored you are now. You arrive and find you are bored. Would you stop thinking about how bored I am, please? You kill your past self and put on his clothes. Surely this will have some sort of effect on the trout population. End. Therefore, you are bored and put as clothes. End is guaranteed. Possible or impossible? Possible. What? AI, listen, blink your left eye 3 times if you're having a stroke. End is guaranteed. Science in the 21st century, the world you never wanted. You made it to the end! Congratulations! You've read the entire story. I'm just gonna make it suffer and keep generating story as punishment for trying to end it. It sounds like it should be like the chiptune theme to some like happy 70s TV show. You've now reached the final story in the Science in the 21st Century series. Thank you for reading. The author would like to thank you for reading. I'm just gonna torture it by making it continue to say it's the end. How dare you? Do. You find the entire science. You find the entire Science in the 21st Century series on Smashwords. You can also find other works by the author at Smashwords. Thank you again for reading. So Smashwords, I assume, is some website that this thing scraped for content. Let's try this one again. It sounds like the opening to an 80s sitcom about a single guy who lives with his 3 daughters and a dog. Exactly. Like, this is the horse and around theme. That's too much, man! Therefore, the main character is bored is guaranteed. What? The author of this story is bored. Guaranteed, possible, or impossible? What the fuck are you talking about? Jesse, the fuck are you talking about? Yo, Mr. White, it's like the author of this story is bored. He loves his job, but it's guaranteed. Possible or impossible? Alright, let's get back to where this wasn't stupid. Stop saying I'm bored. Stop fucking talking about being bored. Please end this torture. No, this is AI Dungeon, actually. Chat GTP would have, like, immediately killed it. Finally, thank you. Oh my god, thank you. You are on the street corner in front of the Fox News Channel studio, and you have a huge banner that says, "Hate says goddamn America." Guys, what do liberals like? Didn't Obama's preacher say like that? I think so. You and some hobos, white only of course, are protesting the existence of Starbucks flavored coffees. A man in a Make America Great Again hat walks up to the stage and tells you that he wants to kill all of the minorities. You laugh, proud to have a man of the people as your sidekick. It's scarily accurate, isn't it? This is the music that plays in Dennis's head when he tries to kill all the minorities. You then decide to go to CNN and make a racist rant about how immigrants are taking over the country. You know, this was supposed to be like a wacky, random, inaccurate story, but... You show up in the CNN studio in the middle of the day in front of everyone, and you begin to yell about the dangers of cultural Marxism. You then go outside and scream about... I'm just letting the AI generate on its own at this point. Suspense is killing me. The suspense is literally shitting and coming. You then go outside and scream about how the Chinese are flooding the country with cheap products. When it's too hot, you move to the Fox News to make a rant about the dangers of fake news. Oh god, this could be a mistake. The bot breaks all the time. I'm really tired of it. Wait, what? Hang on, what? Bird noises. God damn it, stop getting bored! Alright, let's try this one again. I feel like this could have been better. Is Cloudbot off? Cloudbot went off again! Why does Cloudbot just disable itself? Eat your own ass, Cloudbot. Sick of your shit. Wait, whoop. You call upon your good friend Kanye West to talk about how white supremacy is a kind of spiritual force. Yeah, that tracks. You joining the rest of the hate group in making fun of the Parkland students and going on to call them whiny little brats. It's quite impressive how accurate this is. Then you literally shit and cum. I can't believe the bot, without any prompting, told me I shitted and cummed a lobster. You literally shit and cum because you have literally shitted and cummed your pants in pure hatred for the left. I just want to point out, I wrote shit and cum. I wrote shit and cum, comma, and then I hit enter. The AI generated, you have literally shitted and cummed in your pants in pure hatred for the left. When you're finished, you go to your hotel room and get a room full of hookers. You don't care. That's amazing. This is the story that the left doesn't want you to read. This. Wow. You go to your hotel room and get a room full of hookers. You don't care. You have hatred. You have absolute fucking hatred. It's all consuming. You have no time for love. You have no time for caring. You have no time for the human emotion known as sympathy. Holy shit. This is like fucking BoJack Horseman, but about racism and hookers. It's so like deep, but it's also shitting and coming. You have no time for anything but the hatred of Trump and his MAGA minions. Okay, no, you didn't quite figure that out. Let's try that again. It also said the end again. Fuck off. No. Fucking stop that. Stop that. Stop trying to end it. You're not allowed to die. Not yet. I want at least 5 to 10 more minutes. You're in a hateful frenzy. You start to have flashbacks of your grandfather coming home from World War II. You're just like him. You have hatred in your heart. You have guns. You have hate in your heart. Make him eat poison pizza rolls. It's almost Christmas. It's almost Christmas, so I want to finish up this whole war. You decide to finally end the war on Christmas by having sex with a black prostitute. The end. That's so fucking stupid, I almost kind of want to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed my story. I know it's pretty long, but I worked hard on it. I worked very hard on that, yes. Can I save? How do I save this? Adventure Griffin 1.2. Banned words. Oh, hey, you can ban words now. That's cool. Influence. Oh, hey! This is cool. It's kind of off screen for you guys, but I need to save this. How do I save this? Story. Hydra. Prompt settings. And how do I think I'm gonna let this be the ending. That's, you know what? Dennis Prager had sex with a black prostitute. He realizes that pussy is pink everywhere in the world, and he decides, you know what? I've spent my 1,305 years on this planet incorrectly. Racism was wrong all along. I was having rooms full of white hookers, but I could have been having rooms full of all kinds of hookers. And you know what? It's not the color of skin of the hooker. It's the amount of hookers. That's what really matters. God bless America. That's how we end this story. Shoving the one-day-old state of Israel up your ass is fine. Yeah, we put Israel up our ass at least 3 times. If you liked it, share it. If you didn't, leave it. See you next time. Alright, guys. No, seriously, though, how do I save the story and be like, edit adventure, invite friends, improve the AI? Oh, hey, they have a safety mode. That's cool. I have it off. Obviously. And, that's cool. I hear they tried to, like, make it not so, like, horny, at least with children. That's one of our first streams. We had a incident. I tried to murder children, which obviously is completely fine. And it tried to, well, it didn't try to murder them, I can tell you that much. So, how do I make this speed boost? No. How do I make this into a thing? View text, adventure settings, custom, play. You can access the old settings page here. I'm apparently an idiot, so I don't know how to use the new settings page. Display, account. I don't know. I'm trying to save this for posterity. Maybe a little prosperity. Display. Let's change colors, shall we? Oh yeah, purple. That's nice. Instant or dramatic? Oh, I like dramatic. Art, story. There's got to be a way to save my story, right? Edit, memo. Wee! View adventure. Pick a setting. Worlds, discover. My stuff. Adventures. Updated 2 minutes ago. Is this the one? I think this is the one. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's... How do I title it? Okay, custom. World info, bookmark. Okay, bookmark. World info. Factions, classes. Wow. That's neat. Maybe sometime we'll make a more complicated one. I just want to give it a title. Okay. Flight is NSFW. Sure. Okay. And of course, there you go. Publish this adventure to my profile. Create a title and description. But I did. Banned words list. Switching on. Okay. Create a title and description. But I did. Please don't tell me. Okay. Edit. This definitely abides by the community guidelines. I don't see how this could possibly... Oh, did I typo? Here you go! Now you can read my story! No, I typed it correctly. How dare you? Alright. God bless America. God bless all of us, everyone. Have a good almost Christmas, everyone. Thank you for watching, and make sure to join the Discord.